afternoon.
Dogs need that kind of toughness in every game in this league.
Your emotions are as sky high as they ever will be.
It's not just another game.
And he's a big play kind of guy.
A terrific day of football ahead.
This is the NAPA Tailgate Show.
And the fans are ready for it.
Take out your Richter scales because Georgia is going to run out of the tunnel.
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Welcome to the NAPA Auto Parts Tailgate Show. Quality parts, helpful people. That's NAPA know-how. The NAPA Auto Parts Tailgate Show is brought to you in part by Kroger, fresh for everyone. Georgia's own credit union, banking on purpose. Georgia Farm Bureau, always the home team. And by Georgia United Credit Union. Score your official Bulldogs debit card today at gucu.org/GoDogs. Now to the Scana Energy stage. Here's Neil Hondo Williamson.
Three receivers in. Daniels back to pass with pressure. High hanger, far sideline in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown Pickens.
Good morning, Happy New Year, and hello, Bulldog Nation. From the press box at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, welcome to the NAPA Tailgate Show. The voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard, is here, along with expert analyst and former Georgia record setter Eric Zier. Lauren Smith is the creator of this program, and he is smushed into our COVID-sensitive booth as well. Today we have a top 10 showdown between our 7-2 Bulldogs and undefeated Cincinnati in the Peach Bowl. The Bearcats are coming off a thrilling 3-point win over Tulsa. That secured Cincinnati's first ever American Athletic Conference championship. Georgia's senior class enters their fourth straight New Year's Six matchup with a 43-9 career record, placing them one victory from tying the record for most wins by any senior class in school history. That mark of 44 was achieved by both the 2005 and 2019 squads.
For us, getting to a New Year's Six Bowl is, one of the expectations we have every year. And this is an awesome bowl game. You get to play a top 10 opponent.
We do indeed. There's plenty to play for today, and another top 10 opponent for Kirby Smart. This will be Georgia's 16th top 10 matchup in just 5 seasons. Scott, Eric, Lauren, good morning. Happy New Year. Whole lot to play for today, Scott.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Happy New Year, everybody, and glad to be here, and glad that Georgia's in this situation as they get one of the big boy bowls again. 4 years in a row now for that, so that's certainly a feather in our cap. And as you mentioned, Neil, the 16th game against a top 10 opponent for Kirby Smart, and the Bulldogs are 9-6 in those previous 15 games against top 10 competition. So we've done pretty well there, and hopefully we're going to do pretty well again today. Cincinnati's an undefeated team in the American Athletic Conference, and maybe you're familiar with their body of work. Maybe you're not, but we're going to find out in about 3 or 4 hours here what they look like.
Yeah, no question about that, Scott. First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. It is great to be here. No question the dynamics of bowl games in this era of football have changed. You've got a lot of guys opting out and not playing. The importance of the bowl game, you just don't feel that within or inside many programs. You go back, we were talking about this earlier today, Hondo, the job that Coach Smart in this Georgia program did getting his football team ready to play, the job he's done last year in the Sugar Bowl, the job that he's done all through this year. There is a tremendous amount to play for. If you want to be an elite program, you've got a national stage today, and how you perform in these football games, it sets up for the future. If you want to play with the best and be in that national conversation, you have to play well right now. Cincinnati's coming in. They've got an awful lot to play for, but the Dogs equally do as well, and I think we'll be ready.
Well, I certainly am a Kirby man, as you all know from previous conversations. His body of work is pretty stunning. I mean, he's been to a bowl game every year. He's been on the job, 3 SEC East titles. He always takes the high road with things. But he also is a great believer in the overall success of the entire university. Just a wonderful, solid citizen kind of guy, and I think players can assume that if they sign with Georgia, they should have wonderful opportunities in the postseason. He's winning at 81%. Only one coach in SEC history has won more than 80%, General Nealon. But talk about playing the Little Sisters of the Poor. He played them about 5 times a year.
Oh, yeah.
So Kirby is okay with his resume, but even he wants better. He wants more. So I feel really good about him and where he's taking the program. I mean, kids don't come to Georgia all because the facilities are good, the tradition is great. They come because they communicate with the head coach.
Yep, indeed. Very good. In Cincinnati today, Georgia faces a defensive whiz head coach, Luke Fickell. The Bearcats are number 7 in the nation in scoring defense, allowing just 16 points per game. And for Cincy, playing a top 10 Georgia team at a New Year's Six Bowl is a statement-making opportunity.
That's huge for our program, and not just it's measuring stick. I think what you said is exactly right. And if you want to claim that you should have an opportunity, you should have a shot. Well, this is an opportunity. This is a shot.
Well, there's Luke Fickell now, and no doubt, Lauren, this game carries a lot of weight for Cincinnati's program.
Yes.
Up here to the
Yes, drinking my coffee and forgot where my microphone was. And this is not Luke Fickell's last stop. He's building a resume, or he wants to do that. And what better on your resume than to be able to say you defeated Georgia in the Peach Bowl, and then he'd start saying we should have been in the top 4. That's the way they think, and they have a right to think that way. But I just feel like that he might get a Power 5 job out of this kind of success if he were to win today. Get a multi-million-dollar contract, but I like our team, and I like our attitude, and I like our coaching staff.
Well, across the country, obviously the success that the SEC has had, anytime somebody comes in from outside the SEC, there's a chip on their shoulder. Mm-hmm. All of the attention, all of the success that the teams within the SEC have had. Georgia is obviously one of the blue blood programs within the SEC. So when you get a chance to come from the outside and play a Georgia or an Alabama or a University of Florida or Auburn and get a chance to go knock off one of the elite programs, there's an awful lot of pride. It is a program-defining win if Cincinnati comes in here and wins today. And then, Lauren, all that you just said around their position and their take, and maybe it's justified, right, to be one of the top 4 teams in the country. They are playing for all of that today. So they're going to come here with a tremendous amount of intensity, with a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to be ready to go.
Our Bulldogs had 6 players named to the Associated Press All-SEC teams, including 5 on the first team. 3 of those, however, will not suit up today. Guard Ben Cleveland, linebacker Monty Rice, and defensive back Eric Stokes will not play. Also declining to play are tight end Trey McKinney, cornerback DJ Daniel, and linebacker Jermaine Johnson. Now, all-SEC senior safety Richard LeCount is possible. Scott, when you and I were kids, the vendors at the ball games would holler, "You can't tell the players without a scorecard, only 10 cents." These days, bowl games seem to fit that assertion to a T.
Well, and when I walked in the press box a little while ago, I was told immediately we would only get 2 of the scorecards, the flip cards, for the whole booth. So just so you guys know, we have to share today, and we will need to share because of what you just mentioned. There are a handful of guys that are out, but some of the names that were supposedly out, a couple of weeks ago, maybe not so. So I don't know if Kirby did a selling job on those guys to kind of read them the riot act and explain why they're here at the University of Georgia. But hopefully all of those other guys will show up today, and we'll see them in uniform, in the black uniforms too, by the way, which is good. And we're without Trey Hill today, so the offensive line is going to look a bit different. We had Warren Erickson at center in our last game at Missouri, what was that, about 3-4 weeks ago, whenever that was.
Right.
So, there's a spot at right guard with Ben Cleveland not here. But I've been assured that, we're going to see a lot of the guys on that offensive front that we've seen this season. I don't think there will be any surprises. Just we'll see some faces that maybe haven't taken as many snaps before. And that's going to be the same thing with those other spots that you mentioned. like at the linebacker spot at Monty Rice. I mean, Quay Walker's played a lot this season. Nakobe Dean certainly is an active player, leading tackler on the team. Those guys will be in the linebacker spots. We've seen those guys a lot this year, so we'll be missing some, but the faces that will be filling those slots will certainly be familiar to most Bulldog fans.
Indeed. You know who is opting in today? Jordan Davis. And if you want another reason to consider Jordan as one of your favorite Bulldogs now and long after he's gone, take this.
First off, I love balling with my brothers, so that's a big reason. That's probably the only reason, is I love the team too much. I love my dogs too much.
Love a player who puts team before self. All right, thank you, man. Georgia will participate in a bowl game for the 24th consecutive season today. That is the longest active streak in the nation. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. This is the Napa Tailgate Show from our SCANA broadcast booth inside MBS. Tony Schiavone is our producer-engineer. Chris Schiavone assists. Zach Jewell is our studio producer. We'll talk quarterbacks with Scott, Eric, and Lauren in 2 minutes on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Napa know-how.
Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping and over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Hey, dog fans. Coach Kirby Smart here. Do you have a game plan for flu season? Get ahead of the competition by getting a flu shot at Piedmont. It's the smart thing to do. Stop by any Piedmont primary care, quick care, or urgent care location and stay healthy all season long. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to learn more and book online. Piedmont Healthcare. More ways to better.
You're locked in to the 2021 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
I started looking into what a divorce might look like, but the process is confusing. I have so many questions, and I feel so alone.
This is Lee Merriweather. While this is your first divorce, we've been through thousands. We'll guide you through the divorce chaos by giving you options and recommendations. We even offer a free phone consultation with one of our attorneys.
This is Bob Tharp. You have questions. Now there's one place to find the answers you need. Merriweather & Tharp, with offices throughout Atlanta, helping clients through difficult times.
1545 Peachtree Street, 678-879-9000. TheAtlantaDivorceTeam.com.
The relief on the hot water heater failed. Pouring gallons of water into your finished basement. The drainage hose on your dishwasher breaks. Sending an endless stream of water onto your kitchen and living room hardwood floors. No matter what happens in your home, the cleanup and restoration specialists at Surf Pro will be with you every step of the way until you're back on your feet. So when fire or water damage strikes, call on Surf Pro to make it like it never even happened. 1-800-SURF-PRO and surfpro.com.
It's game day, and the dogs are ready to eat.
And it is caught! Touchdown! Money time!
Let's rejoin the Napa Tailgate Show.
It's goal to go for the Dogs. Give it to Cook on a sweep to the right. He's got a block. He's got the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pylon touchdown. Cook swept all the way around to the right, tiptoes his way inside the pylon for the score.
Our condolences to James Cook and his family. James will not play today due to the unexpected loss of his father earlier this week. We are very sorry to hear about that for James and his entire family. The absence of number 4 could be significant for Georgia. In the event you haven't kept track, over the last 2 games, James Cook scored 4 touchdowns, racked up 185 yards in total offense on just 12 carries and 1 catch. However, there are several remaining weapons at offensive coordinator Todd Monken's disposal. The tough nut is there's only one ball.
It is hard, for our guys because there is really only one ball. So really good running backs, and I promise you if you ask them, they'd want more touches. And, for a while there, everybody was on my ass about not getting it to George. And, then Jermaine makes some plays, and then everybody wants to throw it to Jermaine.
Love Todd Monken there. You're listening to the Napa Tailgate Show. Good morning. Scott, Eric, Lauren, and your old buddy Hondo on the radio with you for today's Peach Bowl. Eric, the evidence is clear. Georgia's offense has hit a new gear with JT Daniels under center the last 3 games, and you got to love Todd Monken there,
You absolutely do it, and he's right. There's one football, and there are a lot of playmakers on this offense, and the emergence of JT Daniels into this offense has really lifted the play of all of our playmakers. And for the better part of a year, really a year and a half, the blueprint against Georgia was the same. We're going to load the box. We're going to go press man-to-man on the outside. You can't beat us deep, and there's no threat, so we're going to shut down the run and make life miserable for you. And if you're going to beat us, you got to throw the football. For a year and a half, we haven't been able to go do it. You get JT Daniels into the football game. That just no longer is the case. And all of a sudden you're seeing George Pickens and Karis Jackson and Jermaine Burton. All of a sudden these guys are stepping up, making plays downfield. That now loosens up the interior of the defensive front so you can run the football better. You're seeing explosive plays. And it's all because if you're going to go threaten us and get man-to-man and put your cornerbacks on an island, we are going to hurt you, and we're going to throw the football deep, and that threat is absolutely there and has changed the face of this Georgia offense.
Lauren, today's opponent plays the American Athletic Conference. So in a coronavirus season, which features 0 interconference contests for use as a reference for most schools, how tough is it for Georgia coaches to evaluate the Bearcats' true talent level?
Well, first of all, you got to respect your opponent, but Georgia has the ability that every other school has. They got the camera, got the film, got the tape, and but they have evaluated Fickle dating back to the time that he was the defensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why they have all those quality control guys. They've looked at every play this season of everybody that Cincinnati played, but they've gone back and tried to get a feel for what Fickle does in certain situations. So we're well prepared, I think, from the standpoint of study, film study. But let's be honest. If Cincinnati had played in Georgia's schedule this year, you think they'd be undefeated? I think most of us don't think that would be likely. Yet they are undefeated, so you have to respect them. They've not seen defenses like Georgia, I'm sure. You look at their schedule, who they played, and I just hope that Georgia's strength of schedule and Georgia's outstanding defense. I'm not belittling the offense by any means because we got to score, and I hope that will carry the day. The big issue is Georgia ready to play? I watched practice this week, and I would say we're ready to play.
All right, very good. The Bearcats feature dual-purpose quarterback Desmond Ridder, the AAC's Offensive Player of the Year. Ridder passed for 2,090 yards and 17 TDs. He also rushed for 609 yards and 12 scores this season. That's the most rushing touchdowns this year by an FBS quarterback.
I think it's deceiving how fast he is because he has really long legs. So when he takes off running, I mean, you see him outrunning people all over the place. And when you started outrunning linebackers and DBs in college football, says a lot about your speed.
You got to keep your eyes on your man and just be able to plaster. You can't get out of coverage because as soon as you get out of coverage, a quarterback like that will make you pay. So you got to be able to stay disciplined against a quarterback like this. He's a very good athlete. He can make a lot of plays. He can throw the ball very well. So, you just got to be able to stay disciplined if you want to be able to eliminate his scrambling abilities.
All right, there's Chris Smith, Georgia's safety, Coach Smart before that. Ridder poses a litany of problems for our Dogs today, Scott.
Yeah, he's a good passer. He's a good runner. He's a good quarterback. He's the nucleus of their team. Offensively, certainly second leading rusher on the team behind Jared Dokes, who is the running back. But Ridder almost surpassed him in total yardage on the ground this year. He's he had 83 yards rushing in their championship game against Tulsa a few weeks ago. He's got a 91-yard touchdown run against SMU this year. As you mentioned, he's passed for over 2,000 yards. He's very accurate, on and on and on. So, Georgia's goal today is to make Desmond Ridder look like Jack Ridder from Three's Company.
No doubt, and to do that, you've got to make him as one-dimensional as you can. Now he is a great passer of the football. I think one of the things that separates him from so many of the other dual threat quarterbacks is that when he moves in the pocket, he does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield, locating receivers. So if you turn your back or if you lose sight of your man that you're defending for a second, he can make you pay for that. But for the Dogs today, have to make him one-dimensional, keep him contained, keep him in the pocket, and every chance you get to hit him, you've got to put him on the ground, and you've got to make him feel your presence throughout this football game. He is a very talented quarterback that can hurt you running and throwing, but he hasn't seen a defense of the likes of the University of Georgia yet.
Going to be interesting indeed. All right, Scott, with that reference, you have now had a whole generation of men suddenly conjure up images of the Thigh Master.
Come and knock on our door. That's what they'll be doing today to kick us out of our booth, by the way.
Yes, come and knock on our door. That's right. Okay. Yes, only 4 to the booth today, folks. Only 4 to the booth today. So we're doing a lot of musical chairs here during our NAPA Tailgate show. Did you know that in the history of college football, only Alabama has played in more bowl games than Georgia? Today in the Peach, our beloved Bulldogs will make their 57th all-time bowl appearance. Georgia owns a 32-21-3 bowl record. Just for information's sake, Cincinnati is 10-9 all-time. We start swapping paint with the Bearcats at noon. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.
I'm John Addison, a lifetime Bulldog fan, Georgia graduate, and the chairman of distribution for Primerica, the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. Primerica is a Main Street company for Main Street families. We help people from all walks of life achieve their goals and dreams by offering common sense financial solutions to today's challenges. As a Georgia-based company, Primerica is proud to continue to sponsor Georgia football. Go Dogs!
The SEC taught us that there's nothing like game day in Athens. And if you're all about the black and red, there's nothing like having the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions in your wallet. As the official bank of the SEC, Regions is here to help you pull for your team with everything you've got. To order your card, visit regions.com/GoDogs. Regions, member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees may apply.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Dogs fans in Athens, we have 2 important rules. Support local business and cheer on the Georgia Bulldogs. This season, we'd like to thank our official hometown team partners for their support of Georgia Athletics, Georgia's Cotton Farmers, Gainesville Mechanical, Homewood Suites by Hilton Athens, and Longhorn Steakhouse in Athens. Learn more about how you can support these great local partners by finding the Hometown Team Partners ad in the digital game program on GeorgiaDogs.com. Support our hometown team partners, and you'll support the Dogs.
Hey, DJ, Shockley, do you listen to podcasts?
I love podcasts.
Well, we have a podcast, and it's kind of the Bulldog podcast talk show that isn't always about the Georgia Bulldogs. Of course, we touch on it. We also have some great guests each week. Some of them went to Georgia, and some of them didn't.
We have a good time. We talk about anything and everything, and usually it goes everywhere. So, Wes, where do we go from here?
The Shock and Ship Podcast. Find new episodes weekly and other great Bulldogs content at GeorgiaDogs.com. We're counting you down to kickoff for the inside track on today's game.
28, 20, 10, 5, give him 6, touchdown!
Here's more from the crew on the NAPA Tailgate Show.
And now it's time for this week's Power Profile presented by Georgia Power. This week we recognize Food to Kids, a food bank of Northeast Georgia program that alleviates food insecurity for students in local communities. Tracy, you work with the Food to Kids program, so can you tell me a little bit about its history?
The Food to Kids program was discovered by nurses in schools when they realized on Monday morning that a lot of children were coming to them saying they were not feeling well and that they were hungry. And once they gave them a bar or a snack or something kind of healthy, they kind of perked up. And most of these kids were getting free lunch and breakfast in school, so by the time Wednesday rolled around, they're starting to perk up and be their normal selves. This process started over and over, so they realized that the children were not getting food on the weekend, And that's how the Feed the Kids program started. It's a weekend bag program.
How has the program changed since the COVID-19 pandemic struck?
Well, Feed the Kids had been serving many children, but what we needed to do, instead of just working on the weekend food, we need to figure out how to get those kids more food since they were not able to go to school and get the free and reduced lunches. So that's when we had to have organization help get us donations so we could add nutritious food to the bag.
And lastly today, how will this donation from Georgia Power help Food to Kids?
This donation is absolutely a blessing. We're able to reach out to the children in need and help them be fed. And through them being fed, they can study harder. They don't have to repeat a grade. It's such a blessing that we're able to help the children that need our help.
In recognition of their continuing efforts to alleviate the daily threat of hunger for food insecure children in the community, Georgia Power is proud to donate $500 to Food to Kids. Dog fans, do you know an individual or organization making a powerful impact in the community? If so, visit georgiadogs.com and click on Power Profiles to learn how you can submit their story. Power Profiles are presented by Georgia Power. Power on, Georgia, and go Dogs. And guys, I just wanted to add real quick, Tracy and Food to Kids were supposed to be honored at Sanford Stadium during the Vanderbilt game, but obviously that couldn't happen due to the cancellations. That being said, I just wanted to thank Food to Kids, the Food Bank of Northeast Georgia, and food banks all around Bulldog Nation and our great nation for stepping up and filling a huge void during this time of need in our nation and around the world. I'd like to encourage all of our listeners to go check out your local food bank and see how you can help in your community in the new year. Hondo, back over to you.
Okay, good. Zach, Zach Jewell, ladies and gentlemen. Zach, it's funny is one of the things that Tracy was saying in there reminded me of a TV show, again, showing my age, from like 50 years ago. George Kennedy was in a TV show where he was a famous film actor, where he played a priest. And in the first episode, I think it was, they were asking him about kid who was too unruly in the parish during his classes. And George Kennedy said, "Feed the kid breakfast." And they said to him, "Oh, have you? That's the correct answer. Have you taken this quiz before?" He goes, "No, I was a hungry kid when I was 8 years old." So that's kind of interesting that popped up with Tracy today. Thank you, Zach. Our NAPA Tailgate show continues. Good morning and Happy New Year from the Peach Bowl. Now with a guest, here's our Lauren Smith. Lauren. Mm-hmm.
We would like to welcome David Dukes, Athens personality, former Letterman, former outstanding punter, and one time he's had a great day against Vanderbilt. We talked about that previously, David, but the Vanderbilt game went away, and now we got to talk about the game coming up, the bowl game this afternoon. But reflecting back, you had that big day in Sanford Stadium. What do you remember about that big afternoon you had against the Commodores? Your signature moment. Am I right?
I would say,
as a player.
As a player, yes, sir. It was the first game that I'd ever started in Sanford Stadium. I was fortunate enough to come into some backup roles, but I had to come in and take over in the Ole Miss game the week before when Todd Williams unfortunately hurt his shoulder and led the team back to victory against Ole Miss. That was fun. That's the one that you'll always remember. But playing against Vanderbilt, and we had an electrifying day. If I'm not mistaken, I still think it's the most points that Coach Dooley ever scored under all his years of coaching at the University of Georgia. So it was great. It was a great team effort. We got on top quick, and just a fun, exciting day as a freshman at UGA.
Then you had, I remember you were able to sort of place your punts to where you always could go to the coffin corner, as they used to say in the old days. So you became an expert at punting, particularly down deep, like you are with the wedge on the golf course. Put it right in there where kept the offense backed up. Do you have a memorable punt?
Well, there were several. I think the one that comes to mind most is I had a great deep snapper in Mark Lewis, and the only time that we misconnected, he snapped the ball way over my head against Georgia Tech back in 1987. I had to go back, field the punt, and picked it up inside our own 5-yard line and started running and saw that I could still punt it and punted the ball and effectively kicked the middle across midfield and was rewarded a bone back in the day for Coach Dooley for a game-saving or game-winning play. So that one against your arch rival always sticks out. Secondly, against Florida, we were able to pin them at the 1-yard line back in '87 too. That changed the momentum of the game, and we were able to take down the number 1 team in the country that day. So that was a fun day as well. So a neat story behind that is we were warming up at practice one day when I was playing quarterback still, and I was always out there early, and I was out messing with the kickers and was having a little contest about who could punt the ball down inside the goal line. And being left-footed, the spin was backwards. It reverse spin versus a right-footed. So it was a challenge to catch the ball. Back then, it's like a left-handed and a right-handed throwing quarterback. So anybody that had not practiced fielding that punt was always a different, ball coming down in rotation. So Coach Dooley saw that and said, "Could you do it in the game?" I said, "Well, if given the opportunity, probably so." And so it just worked his way out. That happened throughout my career. So.
Appreciate you spending time with us, and we go back over to Neil Williamson.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Thanks, David. Always great to hear David Dukes. Fine letterman and a great friend to the Georgia program, of course. Hey, Dogs fans, it's still the season for great UGA clothing and gifts from the UGA Bookstore. At the UGA Bookstore, you'll find the best selection from the biggest brands like Nike, Peter Millar, Johnny O, Vineyard Vines, 47 brand, and Southern Tide. There's something for every Bulldog fan. The UGA Bookstore is located next to the Tate Student Center, open 7 days a week. And remember, you can always shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop. All right, we'll come back with Eric Zeier, talk about the Dogs offense and how we're going to crack this Luke Fickell defense in 2 minutes. A Peach Bowl preview is next on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Getting back to business means giving customers the confidence to walk through your doors. At Surf Pro, we're doing just that with certified Surf Pro Clean. Our proactive cleaning program helps reduce the spread of viral pathogens, adheres to CDC standards, and uses proprietary EPA-approved disinfectants. Put the certified Surf Pro Clean Shield in your window and let customers know that you're committed to a higher standard of clean. For a free quote, call 1-800-SURF-PRO or visit surfpro.com. Franchising or independently owned and operated.
Glory. Glory to old Georgia. The Dogs are unleashed, so are the Sabres. Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. So sing, cheer, and put on your red and black in honor of our team. Celebrate the Dogs' journey to glory this football season with Scana Energy by calling 877-GO-SCANA or visiting scanaenergy.com to save.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
If I learned one thing from this great game of baseball, it's that she'll humble you. You think you've got it figured out, you check the standings, and you're in last place again. I'm Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM, and I can put my team in position to win every single time, but I can't play the games, people. At least Progressive's Name Your Price tool has options based on my budget. It never lets me down, unlike my pitching staff. Amateurs!
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This holiday season, hurry into the Road Home sales event and conquer any terrain on your trip back with the remarkably versatile BMW X3, the spacious BMW X5, or the iconic 3 Series. This year, don't just take the road home, truly experience it in the ultimate driving machine. Hurry into the BMW Road Home sales event for exceptional offers today.
Take advantage of our holiday credit today. Visit BMWATL.com for details. Go Dogs!
You're listening to Georgia football.
Over the shoulder catch at the 10, 5, touchdown right down the seam.
Now back to the NAPA Tailgate Show.
Daniels to throw. He waits, throws a long ball. There's the big tight end, Washington. Oh, what a catch! He bobbled it with a man right on top of him and was able to catch it falling down to the turf and hang on at the Tigers' 35. What a terrific catch by the big man from Vegas.
This Georgia Offense Update is brought to you by UPS. Working together to achieve great things like the Bulldogs? That's problem solving. Visit UPS.com to learn more. Official logistics partner of Georgia Athletics. Number 8, Cincinnati brings an unblemished record into the Peach Bowl today and a defense that features 2 All-Americans, cornerback Ahmad Gardner and safety James Wiggins. Now those two anchor a squad that's second in the country in both passes intercepted with 15 and team passing efficiency defense.
They have a couple guys that play hybrid positions, and they can be, quasi linebacker, quasi safety, and they do a good job mixing that up. So it's not like you can say, oh, they're like them. They're like, or they're like them. They're not like really anybody we play, and that's unique.
It would be quite a challenge because Cincinnati has a great defense, especially a great pass defense. So it'd be a great challenge to see what they bring. And
there's Georgia receiver Kearis Jackson, preceded by Coach Kirby Smart, Eric Zier, Neil Williamson, your Napa Tailgate show. Luke Fickle can coach some defense, as we've seen from his dozen years as DC at Ohio State and now in his 4th season with the Bearcats.
Yeah, they are playing really, really fine defensive football, only giving up 16 points per game, only allowing 310 yards per game, and they're as stingy against the pass as the run, 192 yards through the air, 118 yards are giving up on the ground, and really what makes them different. You heard Coach Smart there talk about how they really don't look like anybody because they don't. They play a 3-4 defense, but they give you a lot of exotic looks. They've got guys that are walking around, so it confuses what you want to do from a protection perspective. In their zone drops, a lot of unconventional zone drops, a lot of zone blitzes where they're dropping defensive linemen out into passing lanes. That confusion has wreaked havoc on offenses this year. They're creating turnovers. They're getting into the backfield, so doing a lot of things because of the unconventional nature of how they're playing football. For me, as I was watching tape on them, it really reminded me going way back into the mid-'90s when the Pittsburgh Steelers really started the zone blitz. Now, obviously not the same talent levels as the Steelers, but schematically, some things that look very, very similar to what the Steelers did at the early onset of the zone blitz and playing that 3-4. It looks like what Cincinnati's doing today. So it's going to be a challenge for our offensive linemen and for JT Daniels really to get figured out and ensure that you know where you're going with your assignments because the looks are looks that we haven't seen very often.
Well, that's quite a comparison. Okay, very good, Z. Fickle is savvy, no doubt, but our Bulldogs aren't exactly chopped liver. JT Daniels has helped energize the offense, and his big arm has given receivers a new vigor.
It brings a lot of confidence to us as a unit on offense, just knowing that we can throw the ball downfield if we need to, and just knowing that we have a quarterback who is reliable, able to throw the ball downfield, and we have great receivers on the outside and within the slot that we know we can run past guys.
Like a textbook, like when it comes to coverages and what we do on this play and that play. I mean, it's like when you hear him spit it out, it's crazy. It's like Google or something.
A couple of Bulldogs there. Tackle Jamari Salyer, preceded by receiver Kearis Jackson, and the emergence of JT Daniels has changed the face of this offense. For so long, the blueprint against the Dogs offense was we're going to load the box up, we're going to go press man-to-man on the outside, and we're going to make you try to beat us. Or if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us throwing the football. And obviously the struggles have been well documented in that area. With JT Daniels in the game, just his moxie. When he gets one-on-one situations on the outside, he trusts in the guys that he's throwing the football to. He's going to take shots. That has loosened up everything. So really, it's pick your poison right now against this Dogs offense. If you're going to give us shots to throw the football down the field vertically, we're going to go take it. So where do you want to live? It is very, very challenging right now for defensive coordinators on how they want to attack our offense.
Z, we're missing center Trey Hill to injury today. Ben Cleveland has opted out. How much will the resulting juggling of players and positions affect our offensive line cohesion and the total offense production?
I think we've had enough time in between our last football game to get these guys into some kind of a rhythm. We've obviously got talent. When you talk about the offensive line, if there's one position on this team where we've got enough depth to be able to handle people not being in, it's there. And because of the recruiting that we've done and the talent that we have on this roster, that next man up mentality, we've got enough talent to go step in and play. What you want to see, though, is in game time action, game time speed, or do we have that cohesion? Are we in sync with one another? I think we've had enough time just on the practice field to gain that and get there, but it's going to be interesting to see.
All right, great job, Z. Thank you. It should be quite a top 10 Peach Bowl clash. We're glad you're with us. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. Quality, helpful, and know-how. Who better to talk special teams than Hall of Fame kicker Kevin Butler? Kevin joins us in 2 minutes on the Bulldog Sports Network.
This is head coach Kirby Smart. It's my job to coach the fundamentals of football and prepare my guys for the future. Well, my friends at Southeast Mortgage are preparing you for your future by becoming a homeowner. Every Bulldog deserves a home. If you're in the market to purchase or refinance, I trust Southeast Mortgage to provide the best experience and get it done. Visit southeastmortgage.com/UGA to get pre-approved for your home loan today. Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Southeast Mortgage of Georgia Incorporated, NMLS, number 103956. Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 6578.
What does Julie, who runs a thriving local business, have in common with the starting quarterback? Well, they both know how to hustle. As a small business owner, you rise before the sun and push till well after it sets. Outpace and defy expectations. Every quarterback needs a great team. UPS is here to support the hustle with tools and expert advice to help you be unstoppable. Visit ups.com/pivot for details. UPS, the official logistics partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Now more than ever, it's important to support our local businesses, whether it's your favorite pizza place or your neighborhood barber. That's why I'm a proud member of Georgia's Own Credit Union. Georgia's Own has been serving our local community for more than 85 years. Whether they are saving you money on a checking account or credit card, or supporting the people, places, and teams that we've grown to love, Georgia's Own can't be beat. To learn more, visit their website at georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
Sure, the players bring some skill to the game, but if I don't put them in my lineup, who cares? Not me. I'm Eric Rubino, fantasy baseball GM and league runner-up 2 of the last 9 years. I use the progressive Name Your Price tool with options based on my budget. And for a guy that's used to being in control, it fits. Like this runner-up t-shirt. Champ gets a trophy, but you can't wear a trophy. Boom.
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Dogs play here.
Wow! Power straight ahead. Touchdown!
You're listening to the NAPA Tailgate Show.
So the Dogs going 3 and out. They break pressure. They block the punt. The ball fluttering at the 5 and scooped up by Missouri and down at the 1. The Tigers block the punt.
Super Bowl champion, All-American, Hall of Fame kicker Kevin Butler sits with us now on the NAPA Tailgate Show. And that block punt was, among, if not the worst thing that happened to us on special teams in 2020, Kevin. So, to me, that signifies a pretty darn good year under new specials coordinator Scott Cochran. Your evaluation, please.
Well, I think Coach Cochran has done a tremendous job this year on special teams all the way around Hondo, and that one block punt was just our front guys up there, the big guys up there, kind of got influenced by a little bit of movement inside. What you need to do is just make sure you keep that left foot planted and protect it, because there was a lot of switching going around, and that's easily correctable, but you don't want to see that happen again. But I think overall, led by Jake Camardi, I'm telling you that punt team, the kickoff team, the punt return, our field goal team, everything has been on this year. And we've talked about how important it is for this young Georgia team, especially early when we were trying to establish our quarterback position, was not giving other teams extra opportunities through the special teams. If you look at that, we're an A+ this season.
This look at today's kicking game is presented by Allstate. Protecting you has no off-season. You're in good hands with Allstate. Kevin, Jake Camarda, you brought him up, and the accolades are rolling in. Rather well-deserved. Several All-American mentions for Jake Camarda.
Yeah, you know what? The best thing about Jake is we haven't used him traditionally as much as we've used a punter, and when we have, he has been a weapon. I mean, he's a weapon. I talked about it at the beginning of the season. I really did feel like he was the top 3 punters in the nation, certainly coming down to the Ray Guy finalist right now. He's established himself as one of those. I think the only thing that can hurt him in these awards, and maybe not this year because of the great Ohio State making it okay to do everything half the number, but Jake has not been out there as much as other punters. So I think that's the only thing, if you checked anything that would be a deterrent for Jake, that would be the only thing he's got to battle against. But when he's been out there, Hondo, I mean, flipping the field, pinning people down, it puts our defense in an awful great situation to start.
Yeah, he sure got that cannon under control this year. How about today, Kevin? The Bearcats appear to have a pretty solid return game. You know anything about their kicking?
You know, not too much. I just know that they're a solid team. I think you summed it up right there very well, and it's all 3 phases. When you're an undefeated team, you're doing everything right. You're complimenting yourself, and it's going to be no different today. The specialty teams that Cincinnati has out there are dangerous. They have very good athletes, and they're very disciplined. And I think that's really what is the underlining factor for a successful special team on any team. The team that is disciplined, you know your assignment, you stick with it, and it all works together, and it usually works together in the favor of your offense or defense.
All right, Kevin, thanks so much. Happy New Year to you and Kathy and the kids.
You too, Hondo.
Thank you. Always a treat to hear Kevin Butler on the radio. Today from Atlanta and the Peach Bowl, Georgia football, as our 9th-ranked Dogs go tooth, nail, and claw against the number 8 Bearcats of Cincinnati. We'll kick just after noon here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
From a tiny blueberry to a towering Georgia pine, Georgia's agriculture products are as special and diverse as its people. Georgia Farm Bureau members stand for the values that bring Georgia together. We stand for strong communities and Georgia-grown products. We stand for family, faith, and keeping promises. We stand for you and your community. We stand together. Join today at gfb.org.
We are a Farm Bureau.
If you want to earn the highest wages and best benefits in the construction industry, go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Randy Bill, business manager of the Atlanta and North Georgia Building Trades. We have immediate openings for journey-level workers, as well as helpers and apprentices. Our tuition-free, earn-while-you-learn apprenticeship programs offer the best training in construction, giving you the skills that will pay your bills. Learn more today at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
As soon as we brought our son home from the hospital, I wanted to put him in a protective bubble. I'm Chastity Maney from Country Financial, and like most parents, I want to make sure my son is protected throughout his life. Fortunately, I know Country Financial will also be there to help his dad and me along the way, as he gets his license and first car, and as we pack that car to leave for college.
Find a representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, you can save on large avocados. They're rich and creamy, and you can pick them up for just 99 cents each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Counting you down to kickoff.
He goes down underneath. Big George Davis crush.
You're listening to the NAPA Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
All right, here's hoping your coffee is hot this morning. And last night you brought in the new year at a CDC-approved distance, Tony Schiavone. It's the Napa Tailgate Show from MBS with Scott, Eric, Hondo, and Lauren. And it's all yours, Lauren.
Well, we're happy to welcome to our show today Joni Taylor, the women's basketball coach at Georgia. Does a fine job, makes everybody feel good. You see her in the hall, she takes up time with you, she makes you feel like you're important. Everybody's important to her, so I know that's why she's such a good recruiter. But give us a prospectus on this year's team.
First of all, Lauren, it's so good to see you. It's been quite a while, so glad to see you and be able to chat with you. And right now we're 5-0. Fortunate to have played 5 games. We had to cancel one against Radford because of some positive cases they have within their program, but otherwise we've been able to follow our schedule. A lot of teams still haven't played a game, so we're grateful, number one, considering the times we're going to have played. I think if you've watched this play, you can say that we're fun to watch. We have depth, we have options, which are things that we haven't been able to have in the past, whether it's because of our roster or injury. Obviously, our style of basketball is some of the things are very similar. We want to get out, run. We want to defend. We want to be able to, to have multiple ways to score the basketball. And I think really this is our most complete team that we've put on the floor in the 6 years that we've been here as a staff and as a program. So really exciting to see, what it pans out as we get ready for conference play. Conference play starts earlier this year. December 31st is our first conference game. So we've got 3 more non-conference games before Christmas before we tip it up and test our feet in the SEC.
In terms of your long-term goals with the program, are you where you want to be?
We're getting there, right? They haven't changed by any means, but we talk about them in a much different way because of everything that's going on in the uncertainty. And so I think our goal is to be better today than we were yesterday and not take anything for granted. Long term, when you talk about Georgia basketball, where we want to be is winning a national championship, is winning SEC championships, bringing those back to our program. And so until we have done that, I don't think we're going to be completely satisfied, but we do feel like we're well on our way and we're moving in the right direction.
Well, we know if hard work, energy, and a big smile is worth anything, you'll get there, and we thank you for allowing us to take up your time on a busy day, and we look forward to seeing you in the Coliseum this fall, and all Georgia fans appreciate the good work you're doing, wish you the best, and we go back over now to Neil Williamson.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Thanks to Coach Taylor for taking the time. Bulldogs fans, take the time to tune in tomorrow at midnight to WSB TV Channel 2 to catch the you know what? Yeah, that's the first episode. There we go, of an all-new series, Georgia All Access. With new weekly episodes, you'll get updates and in-depth coverage on a variety of Georgia Bulldogs teams. That's Georgia All Access, premiering Sunday at midnight on WSB TV Channel 2 or anytime next week at GeorgiaDogs.com. I stuttered because I had said tomorrow when in fact we meant it's Sunday night at midnight. Well, we're inside the stadium gearing up for the Peach Bowl, and here's an encouraging statistic with which to open the new year. Dating back to 1991, Georgia has won 21 of its last 29 bowl game appearances. Today, our 9th-ranked Bulldogs face a stern test from number 8 Cincinnati. The voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard, will have the call for you just after noon. And Scott is standing by on our SCANA broadcast booth to share insights as well on today's Top 10 Tete-a-Tete in 2 minutes on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Napa know-how. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping and over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Hey, have you heard about Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery?
You mean the game where you pick a number from 1 to 15, and if it matches, you win money? It sounds easy.
It's as easy as dunking a basketball with a stepladder.
Or bowling with the guardrails up.
Hitting homers from a tee stand.
Sacking a quarterback during a timeout.
I got it. Yelling at players through your TV from your couch.
Exactly. Playing Cash Pop is easy.
So grab your phone and play at playcashpop.com.
Cash
Pop. Pick a number and get winning.
Please play responsibly.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
I'm
I'm John Addison, a lifetime Bulldog fan, Georgia graduate, and the chairman of distribution for Primerica, the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. Primerica is a Main Street company for Main Street families. We help people from all walks of life achieve their goals and dreams by offering common sense financial solutions to today's challenges. As a Georgia-based company, Primerica is proud to continue to sponsor Georgia football. Go Dogs!
What does Julie, who runs a thriving local business, have in common with the starting quarterback? Well, they both know how to hustle. As a small business owner, you rise before the sun and push till well after it sets. Outpace and defy expectations. Every quarterback needs a great team. UPS is here to support the hustle with tools and expert advice to help you be unstoppable. Visit ups.com/pivot for details. UPS, the official logistics partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
It's game day for the Dogs.
Throw into the end zone. Touchdown Pickens. Touchdown Pickens. Back right corner.
Let's rejoin the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
This is the second third down try for the Dogs in the game. Daniels in the pocket, plenty of time, pulls it down, now throws it. Caught by Cook over the middle. He's got running room. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. End zone. Yeah, he got there as he's being hit crossing the goal line. James Cook with the touchdown.
Dogs fans, the Atlanta and North Georgia Building Trades Council is dedicated to the stability of employment and economic security of organized construction workers in Atlanta and North Georgia. Welcome back to the NAPA Tailgate Show.
His leadership is second to none, and definitely his playmaking. You know, he always finds a way to stay around the ball and make plays and things like that. And that's definitely something that we've been missing and we'll need back.
There's safety Christopher Smith. He served admirably as the understudy for Richard LeCount the past 2 months. Our play-by-play voice, Scott Howard, rejoins us now. And, Scott, give us an update on Richie. What are the odds we see him don the red and black today?
Odds. I don't know what the odds are, but, everything I hear is that he's doing everything he can and has done everything he can, even back at practice now, to try to get ready to play in this ball game. One last hurrah for him after that motorcycle accident on Halloween night following the Kentucky game. So he's missed Florida, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and the Missouri game. And, this is one last chance to, as we've heard Richard talk about over the length of his career, the importance of being on this team, part of this team, being with his brothers on the football team, as he likes to say. And so I would think if he's given clearance by the medical personnel, that he's gonna be out there today. So that's what we're hoping for anyway.
Yeah, that'd be great. A great boost, a great ambassador for Georgia, and obviously a terrific football player. No telling whether cornerback Tyson Campbell is headed to the pros after today, but he's dressing out to wage war with the Bearcats.
I'm still a Georgia Bulldog, so my task is to finish out the season. I'm still part of this team. And, we have one game left, so I want to finish this season, with my teammates.
Yeah, that's I guess that's considered old school now to be like that. Which not too long ago, that's what was expected of you. You were part of the team, unless you did something to warrant being dismissed from the team. Hang on, I think my mic just got unplugged here.
No, we can hear you.
Okay, well, I couldn't hear me.
Oh,
I'm pulling a Lauren here, and I'm losing my microphone. Anyway, I've lost my train of thought now. Tyson Campbell wants to be here. He's got an opportunity to go to the next level, as do a lot of players on this Georgia roster. We've seen some of them that have want to take that opportunity to try to get ready for a Senior Bowl All-Star game. And, there's a lot of NFL stuff that goes on that week, and they want to be prepared for that. And I get that. But I also get wanting to finish what you started. And I kind of like that side of it, really.
Me too. All right. Thank you, Scott. We'll let you get that headset fixed, and we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Bulldog Sports Network. Our 9th-ranked Bulldogs and the number 8 Bearcats have met twice previously. Georgia holds a 2-0 edge in the series. We beat them by 2 touchdowns at Sanford Stadium back in 1976 and won a 22-point decision at Cincinnati in 1942. Coming up next, Eric Zier shares his Dogs' desires for today's game on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Georgia's rural communities need a strong voice in the Senate. The Senate Agriculture Committee leadership is critical for farmers and rural businesses and communities. Re-electing Senators Perdue and Loeffler is vital for Georgia agriculture. To ensure Senator Bozeman of Arkansas, our strong advocate, chairs this committee. Every vote counts. Vote Senators Loeffler and Perdue. Paid for by the National Cotton Council of America and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. National Cotton Council of America is responsible for the content of this ad.
Hey, have you heard about Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery?
You mean the game where you pick a number from 1 to 15, and if it matches, you win money? Sounds easy.
It's as easy as dunking a basketball with a stepladder.
Or bowling with the guardrails up.
Hitting homers from a tee stand.
Sacking a quarterback during a timeout.
I got it. Yelling at players through your TV from your couch.
Exactly. Playing Cash Pop is easy.
So grab your phone and play at playcashpop.com.
Pick a number and get winning.
Please play responsibly.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Sir, you're now being placed on arrest for driving under an influence.
What does that mean?
That means you've earned a night in the Gray Bar Motel. During your stay, you'll be photographed, fingerprinted, and given a stylish jumpsuit. And each room has an en-suite bathroom.
Is all this free?
Oh, no. Fines, court costs, and legal bills could add up to $10,000 or more.
Save your money for a real hotel. Drive sober or we will pull you over.
This message brought to you by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Now more than ever, it's important to support our local businesses, whether it's your favorite pizza place or your neighborhood barber. That's why I'm a proud member of Georgia's Own Credit Union. Georgia's Own has been serving our local community for more than 85 years. Whether they're saving you money on a checking account or credit card, or supporting the people, places, and teams that we've grown to love, Georgia's Own can't be beat. To learn more, visit their website at georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
It's time to unleash the dogs.
In the pocket, nowhere to go. We got to sack it. We sack it for a big loss, and the ball goes over on downs.
Welcome back to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
3 tight end set here. Give it to Zeus. Starts straight, bounces out left. He's gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Never touched.
Happy New Year and good morning from Atlanta. This is the Napa Tailgate Show. Zier's Desires is brought to you by Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. The fastest, easiest way to buy your next new car, truck, or SUV. Choose from the largest selection at athensdcjr.com. Always the best deal. Always Z.
Well, first, Hondo, it is to match the intensity that you know Cincinnati is going to bring into this football game. Cincinnati playing one of the blue bloods of the sport. You heard Coach Fickle talking about Georgia as just that. Anytime a team comes in to play an SEC team, especially one of the elite programs in the country, they are going to be ready to play. We have to match that intensity. In addition to that, we have to make Desmond Ridder, the Bearcats quarterback, one-dimensional if we can. He is a great runner of the football, throws it well. On top of that, a true dual threat. Have to make him one-dimensional. Have to keep him contained and in the pocket. And when he does try to run the football, we have got to hit him and hit him and hit him. Make sure he feels our presence. And then finally, establish the line of scrimmage in this football game. Defensively, Cincinnati provides a lot of exotic looks, a lot of three-front type looks, zone blitz kind of looks where within their zone drops, dropping unconventional guys into coverage that can create confusion. The way you minimize that is you go punch them in the mouth, run the football, and get them out of playing that loose kind of exotic look that creates confusion. We do those things. It should be a fun afternoon.
I noticed you didn't have cookies on your list of desires.
Well, I was going to bring it up, but I didn't want to throw Scott under the bus. this, but,
I'll throw them under the bus.
There are several games this year, and I won't bring up the games, but Florida was one of them. Scott wasn't quite ready to play, and we don't win the football game. We show up today. Scott's his job is to bring snacks and bring cookies. We show up today, there's absolutely nothing in the booth, and he was like, it's a new year, it's a new us, and listen, the old us has been working pretty well.
Yeah, secondary job is to do the play-by-play of today's game. But okay, that's all right. Thank you, Z. Tony Schiavone's with us, and changing the tenor just a bit here. Tony, it's a really tough week for the folks with AEW. I know it's been a tough couple of weeks. Tragedy.
Yeah, Brody Lee, one of our stars, but not only that, one of our good guys backstage, passed away the day after Christmas. He had been sick in the hospital, and he left an 8-year-old son, a 3-year-old son. We had an entire show live on Wednesday night dedicated to him and the people that were in his life and the wrestlers who he was in a group with. And it was tough. We brought his son out. We gave him his TNT championship belt that his father had won and retired his boots. And it was really tough, but it was a wonderful celebration of his life, which I'm really glad we did. And I'm so happy to be part of a company that recognizes that. And so, yeah, it was tough, but, life moves ahead. So we've got a couple of New Year's smashes coming up, one coming up Wednesday and one coming up next Wednesday where we have some really big matches on TNT. So, yeah, so thanks for bringing that up. It was tough.
Very good. They did a really nice job, and RIP to Brody Lee. All right, thank you, Tony Schiavone. Georgia coming up against Cincinnati. We're just afternoon kick. Coming up next, though, it's the Ken Nugent Call of the Week on the Bulldog Sports Network. Neil Honda Williamson here from my friends at Engineered Solutions of Georgia. If you see a crack in your wall, call ESOG. Locally owned and operated, ESOG is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Dial 678 ESOG now. I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with legendary Georgia Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Ballou.
Ken and I are teaming up to give back to the brave men and women of our military. Ken's going to donate $500 to one member of the military every Bulldog football game this season.
If you're a member of the military in Atlanta, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And somebody's going to win $500 every game.
One click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey, this is Trip Strickland at Georgia Metals, and we are so much more than metal roofing. We're steel buildings, metal fabrication, custom welding. We're everything metal. So for all your metal needs, call Georgia Metals, where quality still matters.
You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey, Dog fans. Coach Kirby Smart here. Do you have a game plan for flu season? Get ahead of the competition by getting a flu shot at Piedmont. It's the smart thing to do. Stop by any Piedmont primary care, quick care, or urgent care location and stay healthy all season long. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to learn more and book online. Piedmont Healthcare. More ways to better.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's game day, and the dogs are ready to eat.
And it is caught! Touchdown! Money time!
Let's rejoin the NAPA Tailgate Show.
Daniels, snap, throw, Pickens, slant, caught, 20, 15, 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, George Pickens. He's having a day.
That's today's Make the Call, presented by Ken Nugent. One call, that's all. Welcome to 2021, and welcome back to the NAPA Tailgate Show. We're inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Georgia buses should arrive at any moment. Cincinnati's already here. When the buses arrive, that means Scott Howard will have an exclusive interview with Coach Kirby Smart. That's in the next 20 minutes or so. Right now, though, here's our Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Thank you. And joining us, Leland Barra, who is an assistant
Sports Information Director, working with Claude Felton. Neil, Leland helps us every week with our Primerica Player of the Week. So I thought it'd be neat to have him on with us today. He's a little under the weather back home, but he can talk on the radio. And Leland, take it away and tell us about our Primerica Player of the Week for this game.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. This week's Primerica Player of the Week is junior defensive back Eric Stokes, a native of Covington. He had 2 tackles and an interception that he returned 27 yards on Missouri's opening drive that put the ball at the Tiger 23. Stokes is one of the league leaders with 4 picks this year. He's at the top of the national list with 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. He helped anchor a defense that held Missouri to 22 yards rushing and scoreless for 3 quarters a couple weeks ago.
Well, Leland, in addition to working with the football program, you're the SID for football. You're also the SID for track, which puts you in contact with Petros Cipriano, the track coach. Exceptional person. How good will Georgia be in track this year?
There's no limit to how good the Georgia track team can be. He's a guy that pops up every morning ready to win a national championship. He's already won 2 team national championships. And when 2020 ended, we were top 5 in the country, poised to try to win another couple before the season was canceled. So he's an outstanding coach to work with, that's for sure.
And football, what's the highlight of being able to work with the football program? What turns you on the most?
I think it might be the crew that I work with and get to go to games with every week. You know, I'm usually waiting on Eric Zaire to get on an airplane, or helping you charge your phone, or having dinner with Neil Williamson. And then all the SID crew is like family to me. So I miss my family when I'm away, but that's definitely a second family, and I get to see the Bulldogs play pretty much every Saturday of the fall. So it's a job like no other, that's for sure.
All right. Thanks to Leland, who is from Newnan, Georgia, and we're sorry that Neil makes you pick up the check. We go back over
every single time.
Oh, thank you, Leland. You are a gem, buddy. We miss you, and I hope you feel better soon. All right, thank you, Lauren. Leland, and that Primerica Player of the Week presented by Primerica. Primerica, the only company positioned to make the maximum impact on Main Street families. All right, we're playing Georgia, Cincinnati today, and fans, be sure to log on to georgiadogs.com/digital and the Georgia Bulldogs app to download the Peach Bowl digital game program presented by Georgia Power. The digital game program highlights everything you need to know heading into today's matchup. That's the Peach Bowl digital game program presented by Georgia Power, available on georgiadogs.com/digital and the Georgia Bulldogs app. Number 9, Georgia, 8th-ranked Cincinnati is undefeated. Our Peach Bowl coverage takes you right up to kickoff here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
'Twas the holiday season and families felt glee, for they shopped at Kroger, where pickup was free. Sweet spiral ham, a salad so merry, green beans and Brussels, and cakes topped with cherries. May the magic of fresh food never be done. Happy holidays from Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
The holidays are here, and gift cards make them easy. And you can choose brands like Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, Cracker Barrel, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Football fans, Terrapin Beer Company, Athens' born and bred and longest-running brewery, is proud to be a part of game day and every day. Let's raise our glasses and toast our Athens team with our hometown brew. Make Terrapin a part of your game day weekend traditions. Stop by the brewery Wednesday through Sunday to sample the best beer you can drink. Please drink responsibly, and as always, 21 means 21.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
It's not really about the tailgating or even being in the stands. It's not even really about winning or losing. It's always been about being with friends and family, making memories for tomorrow while being in the moment today. That's what Georgia football means. Are you ready? We are. Since it's different this season, and many of us can't get up to Athens, we're going to bring Athens to you. Visit harrydoghouse.com to learn how your home gating experience can become one of your best Bulldog memories.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
We're counting you down to kickoff for the inside track on today's game.
28, 20, 10, 5, give him 6, touchdown!
Here's more from the crew on the NAPA Tailgate Show.
That's huge for our program, and not just, it's measuring stick. I think what you said is exactly right. You know, if you want to claim that you should have an opportunity, you should have a shot, well, this is an opportunity, this is a shot.
That's Ohio State coach Luke Fickell. He realizes what a triumph over number 9 Georgia in today's Peach Bowl would mean for Cincinnati. Happy New Year from your Napa Tailgate Show crew. Scott Howard, Eric Zier, Lauren Smith, Neil Hondo Williamson. Well, our season of predictions ended prematurely with the cancellation of the Vanderbilt game. Would you guys like me to tell you who won, or shall we move on to the picks for the week?
No, tell us who won.
Okay,
the suspense is killing me.
All right, then. Finishing in last place. Oh, Lauren, you were 12-16 on the year. Scott and Eric, you were 13-15 each.
Sweet.
And I was 16-12.
Dang, he
That's
dominated.
So bad. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yes, sir. So that is the 5th time in 10 years that a certain someone has won the predictions.
That is fuzzy math and fake news. I don't believe
fuzzy
that.
math. I haven't heard that one. They've been watching the election coverage.
That's not true.
Fuzzy math.
Hashtag worst to first. Hashtag domination. Hashtag bite it. Okay, to today's picks, we have Auburn versus Northwestern, and we'll let the doubter Eric Zier start.
I've got one clarifying question
Yes,
here,
sir.
and I'll make this fast.
Yes.
So, any year that I'm in the lead coming into this game, these picks count.
No, they don't.
Yes, that is not true. So it is.
We're going to
now this year, this year, because you're in the lead, none of these games don't count.
We'll get Jay Black to bring up the tape.
I don't. Why wouldn't these count? Right
I'm
now?
in favor of them counting. I mean, if we're going to pick them, they might as well count.
I'm
right?
fine if they count, but we're going to go back and look at how some of those years that you were in the lead turned out. Then, if you want to go retroactive, because I know how some of those seasons turned out.
Well, I don't. Listen. It is
just a little poker bluff, and he blanched, didn't he? Well, I'm not sure. Let's go.
Can we pick the games? Okay.
Yes, Auburn versus Northwestern. Z, you're up.
I'm going to stay within the. No, I'm not going to stay within the conference. I think there's too much turmoil at Auburn. I like Northwestern.
All right, I like the Wildcats to win this too. Lauren.
Excuse me.
I will take the Auburn War Eagles.
Okay, very good, Scott.
I'm with you guys on Northwestern. I think there's too many problems at Auburn, and they don't have Tank today, so I'll go with the Wildcats.
Okay, NC State versus Kentucky. I've got the Wolfpack in this one.
Yeah, I do too. Kentucky is reeling a little bit. NC State.
Scott?
I'll go with the SEC on this one. I'll take the Kentucky Wildcats to knock off the ACC opponent today.
NC State Wolfpack.
Okay, and Ohio State versus Clemson in the CFP semifinal. Lauren, you're up first.
Boy, that's a little bit of a tough one. I think Ohio State has great incentive with Dabo picking him number 11, but I think Clemson's too much. I'll go with the orange.
I'll go with Auburn on the Lake.
Auburn on the Lake. Could I dislike two non-SEC teams anymore? Well, yes, Tech. But besides that, Ohio State, Clemson, hold my nose and pick the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. Ohio State, in my opinion, didn't play enough games even to be in this football game. I hope Clemson runs away with this one.
All right, very good. I'm still not sure what that was.
Sound like Family Feud.
It sounded like something good.
I can name that tune.
Thank you very much. And 2 notes. Georgia, Cincinnati. Scott Howard sits down with Coach Smart in 2 minutes on the Bulldog Sports Network.
It's bow time.
Grill out of gas on game day? Drop a big bow box on it. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of chicken, biscuits, fixings, and tea with the Georgia Bulldogs Big Bow Box for $19.99.
It's bow time.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out gapeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanut! Get your peanut! It's bow time.
Grill out of gas on game day? Drop a Big Bow Box on it. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of chicken, biscuits, fixings, and tea with the Georgia Bulldogs Big Bow Box for $19.99.
It's bow time.
We're back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium after these messages from your local station. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Napa know-how. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping and over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Get ready for kickoff at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldog gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. The UGA Bookstore is the exclusive home of the UGA 10 collection by Peter Millar. The UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus, next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
You're listening to Georgia football.
Over the shoulder catch at the 10, 5, touchdown right down the seam.
Now back to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Welcome back to the Bulldogs Tailgate Show. Happy New Year to everybody. It's a bowl day morning here in Atlanta as Georgia gets set to take on the Cincinnati Bearcats here in the Peach Bowl. Coach Kirby Smart is with us here to take a look at our opponent today, the Cincinnati Bearcats. And Coach, before we get to that, 24 straight bowl games now. That's the longest current streak in the nation as far as bowl games, and that's certainly in this year, that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, it is. I remember when I saw the bottom line on ESPN going across, I think it was about Virginia Tech, right, that opted to not have the bowl, and I knew then, I was like, if we can hang on and get to a bowl and stay healthy and avoid COVID, we could move up into the top spot. And of course, they'll probably have an asterisk by that one, but it's a great honor for our kids, for our program.
It's certainly a lot nicer, a lot more enjoyable to be in this situation than not, and Georgia's certainly fortunate enough to do that. As we take a look at the Bearcats today, tell us a little bit about this team. This is a team to pay attention to, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really a well-coached football team. And the thing I've learned is the more senior starters you have, the better you are. And we learned that with Texas, and we learned that with Baylor. And now we got 9 defensive senior starters, which is pretty amazing.
Is that, in your opinion, is that where this team is best on defense?
Well, I think they're pretty balanced. I think offensively and defense, I think they're most experienced on defense, and they're very different on defense. They have a unique style of playing defense, and when you got 9 guys playing that unique style, you don't make many mistakes. But they're talented across the board because of their quarterback.
A couple of All-Americans now in that secondary. Tell us a little bit about their pass defense and how you plan to attack that.
Well, they're very multiple in their scheme. They've got guys that run really long corners that get their hands on you. They like to press you. We've got to win some outside. They create an extra hat in the box from different locations. So they've got guys. They're not a traditional, SEC style defense where a lot of our defenses in our conference are similar. This is very unique. And it's been hard to prepare for because they're creating a fourth rusher with a guy plugging and moving and twisting, and that can be harmful when you're a big physical football team with all the penetrating guys they have. But you got to wear them down. You got to get on them and kind of anticipate where they're going.
Any final thoughts on this Cincinnati team? We didn't touch on the offense very much. Give us a quick synopsis on what they look like there.
He's really smart. He puts them in the right play a lot. I think they put a lot on him check-wise. You can see he does a great job of getting them in the right play. You very rarely see them in a play that is bad for them, meaning when somebody's doing this, they're doing this. They have an answer for whatever you do, and he's done a great job of in the right play. And he's a really good athlete. I think it's deceiving how fast he is because he has really long legs. So when he takes off running, you see him outrunning people all over the place. And when you start outrunning linebackers and DBs in college football, it says a lot about your speed. And there's times where plays have broken down, and he's turned those into big-time gains and big-time plays. But just a tremendous passer, tremendous athlete. When you talk about dual threat capabilities, he's got really good people around him. Their backs are really physical. Both get downhill. They complement each other. Really good players, out at wideout. They've had the emergence. The Pierce kid's done a great job. He gets the ball vertical, makes a lot of plays down the field. The speed they have out there with Young and Trey Tucker are really exceptional. When you look across the board, the complete group of wideouts, probably right there outside of Alabama, is as good as we've faced in terms of wideouts. They do a great job using their tight ends. Those two tight ends are huge, and they do a great job in the run game of mixing their tight ends in to create run-pass conflicts for players. And when you look at their tight ends, they do a tremendous job doing it. So Ritter's got a great group of guys there that he can use to pass the ball.
All right, Georgia and Cincinnati. That's our look at the Bearcats. Coach, thanks very much. We'll catch up with you in just a little bit.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, that's Coach Kirby Smart. Hondo, back to you for more of the Bulldogs Tailgate Show.
All right, thanks, Scott. Thank you, Coach. And Coach Kirby Smart twice played for the Bulldogs here in the Peach Bowl, both times against Virginia. 95, we lost a heartbreaker, and 98 went Georgia's way. Time now to check where the Dogs rank, presented by Northside Hospital. The final CFP ranking slotted our Dogs at number 9. At Northside Hospital in Atlanta, their surgeons have decades of experience with routine and complex surgeries. Today, Northside Hospital leads the Southeast in innovative procedures, performing nearly 40,000 robotic surgeries since 2005. Their confidence and compassion await you in Atlanta. Learn more at northside.com. Dogs Top 10 action today at noon. We'll have a Munson highlight right around the corner for you on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey, have you heard about Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery? You mean the game where you pick a number from 1 to 15, and if it matches, you win money? It sounds easy.
It's as easy as dunking a basketball with a stepladder.
Or bowling with the guardrails up.
Hitting homers from a tee stand.
Sacking a quarterback during a timeout.
I got it. Yelling at players through your TV from your couch.
Exactly. Playing Cash Pop is easy.
So grab your phone and play at playcashpop.com.
Cash Pop. Pick a number and get winning.
Please play responsibly.
Long-lasting protection against COVID-19 is crucial to a safe living and work environment. That's why Georgia Athletics has chosen Cleanwell Services as their official disinfection partner. The trained technicians at Cleanwell use a CDC and EPA-approved nanotechnology-based cleaner that sticks to surfaces for an industry-leading protection lasting beyond 30 days. The Bulldogs trust Cleanwell, and if your business wants to keep your employees and customers safe, you also need to trust Cleanwell. Visit cleanwellsafe.com to get started today.
More live play-by-play coverage of the 2021 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl after these local messages on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
I'm Monty Watson, UGA alum and chairman and CEO of the Piedmont Bank. As a banker, I know numbers, and the numbers that matter most to us Georgia fans are the numbers that are on the scoreboard when the clock runs out. But in business, there's no scoreboard and the clock never stops. That's why at Piedmont Bank, banking is more than the numbers. Our business customers know they're ranked number one, and that means we never stop helping them reimagine their businesses in Georgia and beyond. Get to know us today at piedmont.bank/UGA. And most importantly, go Dogs.
Glory! Glory to old Georgia! The Dogs are unleashed, so are the savings. Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. So sing, cheer, and put on your red and black in honor of our team. Celebrate the Dogs' journey to glory this football season with Scana Energy by calling 877-GO-SCANA or visiting scanaenergy.com to save.
are falling out of the sky. We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose.
Georgia football history through the voice of a legend.
My God almighty, did you see what he did? You talk about a stupid miracle.
Here's another listen back to Larry Munson's greatest calls. Presented by Northside Hospital, Atlanta, with decades of experience performing both routine and complex surgeries. Northside Hospital leads Georgia in surgery innovation. Learn more at northside.com/surgery.
All right, Hap Hines. Hap Hines with Cop to hold. Hap Hines looking into the sun. Hap Hines who saved us in Oxford, Mississippi. Overtime, Purdue's blowing that train engine at him. 25-25, they're roaring at him. We're on the 4-yard line. We set it down, and Hap sticks it up, and it's good. And Hap Hines has defeated Purdue in overtime. Holy my God, we came back and beat him 28-25. We had no business winning this football game.
Oh, boy, we didn't. Scott Howard, what a game that was in Tampa.
That's one of my favorite calls. Just, every bowl season we can whip that out and play it. It makes my holiday year.
It's fantastic.
That was Drew Brees for Purdue, and they had the whole deal going, and they had a 25-point lead in the first half, and we go to overtime and win it that way, and it was just the Outback Bowl. But you would have thought, we won the world. Oh, yeah. It was a great moment. It was a lot of fun. I remember those times when bowl games were fun.
A lot
different from the one we're situation we're in this year, unfortunately. But that was a great moment for Georgia and for Larry too. That was a great call.
It was a fun call. And 2021 is going to be better, so we'll be fine after this year. And were you on the side of the street with? I know it was Payne, Munson, England. Dick Payne, Larry England, Munson, and me hitchhiking back to the airport. Were you with us?
No, I don't think I was with that group. I had probably driven down separately, so I wasn't with you guys.
I have like 3 post-game stories from that game, and that's the only one I can tell on the air. But we got picked up by a car full of 5 people who had all of their luggage in the car. They were driving back right after the game, but they recognized Larry as we couldn't get a cab. We're trying to get to the airport, and they were just like the women in the car dove. One guy dove into the back on top of the luggage. The women dove onto each other's laps. Yeah, and then we were all sitting all over each other, and they were just terrific. It was so funny.
In the days before Uber.
Oh, my goodness. In the days before Uber.
Much simpler times.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you, Scott Howard. And thanks for that. All right, Hap Hines. And thank you, Larry Munson, for the memory. We'll come back with more of our NAPA Tailgate show. It's number 9 UGA versus 8th-ranked Cincinnati in the Peach Bowl. Helmets start cracking in less than 2 hours here on the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with legendary Georgia Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Ballou.
Ken and I are teaming up to give back to the brave men and women of our military. Ken's going to donate $500 to one member of the military every Bulldog football game this season.
If you're a member of the military in Atlanta, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And somebody's going to win $500 every game.
One click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
You've got a great piece of land, ideal for hunting, but when it comes to managing that land, don't count on an ATV to do the job of a tractor. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact tractors can be and redefined what they do, making our tractors perfect for the cutting, hauling, digging, and plowing you need to do to create food plots and manage trails. Learn more at masseyferguson.us. See the newly designed Massey Ferguson GC 1700 and 1700 M Series today.
You're locked into the 2021 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
This holiday season, hurry into the Road Home sales event and conquer any terrain on your trip back with the remarkably versatile BMW X3, the spacious BMW X5, or the iconic 3 Series. This year, don't just take the road home, truly experience it in the ultimate driving machine. Hurry into the BMW Road Home Sales Event for exceptional offers today.
Take advantage of our holiday credit today. Visit BMWATL.com for details. Go Dogs!
Hey, have you heard about Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery? You mean the game where you pick a number from 1 to 15, and if it matches, you win money? Sounds easy.
It's as easy as dunking a basketball with a stepladder.
Or bowling with the guardrails up.
Hitting homers from a tee stand.
Sacking a quarterback during a timeout.
I got it. Yelling at players through your TV from your couch.
Exactly. Playing Cash Pop is easy.
So grab your phone and play at playcashpop.com.
Cash Pop.
Pick a number and get winning.
Please play responsibly.
This moment of commitment is brought to you by Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, always the home team. The University of Georgia provides a higher quality of learning. UGA is ranked the 15th best public university in the country. Our student-centered teaching and groundbreaking research are changing the world. The University of Georgia inspires those who will lead, serve, and discover. It's more than our mission. It's more than our passion. It's our commitment.
Daniels to throw. He waits, throws a long ball. There's the big tight end, Washington. Oh, what a catch! He bobbled it with a man right on top of him and was able to catch it falling down to the turf and hang on at the Tigers' 35. What a terrific catch by the big man from Vegas.
All right, very good. Georgia fans getting their beverages cooled down and their hopes amped up that JT Daniels will work some of that magic today. Our 9th-ranked Dogs facing number 8 Cincinnati, Peach Bowl, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Scana broadcast booth, voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard with us. I think I've got it all in there. Cap on hat. Belly that rolls, okay, with any...
You lost me on that one.
I've lost myself, man, I'm telling you, Scott. Hardly any interconference play this season, Scott. Kirby Smart says the lack of comparative measurement makes it harder to tell just how good the rest of the teams around the country are.
The hardest thing to judge this year is that nobody really played across conference, right? So if you didn't really play across conference, you really can't judge a lot of things because all you know is your conference.
Well, that is correct, and it couldn't be more eloquently said than that right there. We didn't get to play any non-conference games, so you can't really compare, but we can compare. Let's do a little bit of that. Here's who Cincinnati played: Austin Peay, Army, South Florida, SMU, Memphis, Houston, East Carolina, Central Florida, and Tulsa. Wow. And here's who Georgia played: Arkansas, Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, Florida, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Missouri. So
yeah,
we can do our own comparisons there. And I think most people would say that, obviously Georgia had a much more difficult ride to where we are now than did Cincinnati. Doesn't mean Cincinnati's any less a team. I mean, they beat everybody that was on their schedule, which was impressive enough. And in most of those games, they beat them handily.
Yeah, well, until those last two. They only won by 3 in those last two, right?
Right, and the championship game, they won on a walk-off, a walk-off field goal to win the AAC championship. So you can do some comparing. The coaches, have a little more difficult time with that, I guess, in their film breakdown and all of that sort of thing. But certainly we can take a look, and the eyeball test tells us something.
It hopefully will today, too. Interesting story this week from Bulldogs tackle Jamari Salyer and the impression JT Daniels made on him during the Mississippi State game.
I think it's his first game, Mississippi State. I think one of the blitzes got through, and he got hit pretty hard. He got hit really hard, and I was like, wow, this kid just took his first hit. In my head, I'm like, okay, how's he gonna react? He's gonna lay on the ground. Is he gonna be broken? But he got up, he hit me again. He told the defender, he's like, hit me again. So that wasn't hard on him. I think he threw a touchdown on that play too. So I think he had a reason to say that. But yeah, he was pretty jacked up, and I was like, okay, cool. We got a tough kid,
That's a good story, isn't it?
It is. That's great. I mean, you don't always hear that kind of stuff, especially about a quarterback. Hit me again.
Yeah.
Hit me again. I keep getting back up.
Yeah.
And that's got to be demoralizing for the defender at that point.
Yeah, and your offensive line, I mean, what Sawyer was saying was they all got pretty fired up. They're like, okay, good.
I bet they did, yeah, because, I mean, it's their task is to protect that guy, not let him get hit.
Yeah.
When he gets hit and he responds like that, that makes you want to probably block a little bit better than maybe you have when the guy got hit. But they're all here for each other, and I think JT has fit right into that mix. And he probably has a little bit of that lineman mentality, which is that's truly beneficial.
Yep. All right. Very good. Thank you, Scott Howard. Scott will have the play-by-play for you just after noon today. We've got a real head knocker in store for you from the Peach Bowl. It's number 8, Cincinnati, 9th ranked Georgia. Eric Zeier game plans in 2 minutes on the Bulldog Sports Network.
It's bow time.
Grill out of gas on game day? Drop a big bow box on it. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of chicken, biscuits, fixings, and tea with the Georgia Bulldogs Big Bow Box for $19.99.
It's bow time. You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Learn more at masseyferguson.us. See the newly redesigned Massey Ferguson GC 1700 and 1700M Series today. It's bow time.
Grill out of gas on game day? Drop a big bow box on it. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of chicken, biscuits, fixings, and tea with the Georgia Bulldogs Big Bow Box for $19.99.
It's bow time.
The dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Napa know-how. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping and over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Across the Northside Hospital system, our surgeons have decades of experience with routine and complex surgeries. Today, Northside leads the Southeast in innovative procedures. Since 2005, we've performed nearly 40,000 robotic surgeries. Our board-certified surgeons are acclaimed for non-invasive techniques. Their confidence and compassion await you at Northside. For complex surgeries, choose the best surgeons. Learn more at northside.com.
It's game day for the dogs.
Throw into the end zone. Touchdown Pickens. Touchdown Pickens. Back right corner.
Let's rejoin the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
Well, Happy New Year, folks. And if you're still hurting, I hear that Pedialyte can help out that morning after. You're tuned to the Napa Tailgate Show. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Eric Zeier slides into the bucket seat alongside. And I said we were going to game plan, but that's a little bit later on in the show. We're going to talk some defense right now. And unfortunately, our top cornerback, Eric Stokes, has elected to sit out today. His backup, DJ Daniel, also will not participate in this top 10 skirmish. Two guys, however, who have not bailed out are cornerback Tyson Campbell and safety Chris Smith, both of whom were asked today this week about the Bearcats attacking whoever our third-string cornerback is that fills the position vacated by Stokes and Daniels.
We trust, our defense and all the players on the defense. All of us are capable of making big plays. So whether balls thrown to my side or the other corner side or to the safeties or to the linebackers, feel like all the players are capable of making the play.
They might try to attack the side that Stokes has vacated, but, just like Tyson said, we trust all our players. We got guys that are ready for this moment.
That's Chris Smith, preceded by Tyson Campbell. And this Bearcat offense, it's a spread option attack. They're going to put pressure on any defense that they play. Sure, as you have guys that are going to be new into a football game, there is going to be some intentional targeting there to see if you can find any weaknesses. But the key to this Bearcat offense, it really does run through Desmond Ritter, the quarterback for this Bearcat offense. He is a dual threat guy. He can hurt you with his legs. He can hurt you throwing the football. And regardless of who's in the football game, for the Dogs to be successful today, you have to contain Ritter, keep him in the pocket, make him as one-dimensional as you can make him. And when he does run the football, put him on the ground as much as you can and try to be disruptive in that fashion. It's a very sound offensive unit. They're not bringing anything to the table that the Dogs haven't seen this year, however, but they are playing at a high level.
Well, getting Jordan Davis back has been a huge boost to the defensive line. We saw that in the last game.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You know, Georgia, we've got a plethora of great athletes at the linebacker position, but I don't care how much talent and how much speed you have. If you don't have the big boys up front to let those linebackers run free, so those defensive linemen, their job is to contain and get bodies on offensive linemen so they can't get to the second level. When he's in the football game, it's a better defense.
Well, two linebackers won't be playing, though. Today we're going to be missing Monty Rice, who is going to get that foot healed up once and for all for the NFL draft, and Jermaine Johnson, who's decided to transfer to FSU.
Yeah, it truly is next man up, and we're seeing it a lot here with this Georgia football team this week, and coming into this football game. We saw it last year. So many guys opting out of bowl games. It is an opportunity for that next man to step up, and fortunately for the Dogs, we've got just loads of talent sitting back there. Nolan Smith, Jacoby Dean, Channing Tindall, who's played fantastic football, is going to get an opportunity to be on the field a lot more today. It's their time to showcase their talents and earn starting positions in the next year.
All right, nicely done, Z. When toe meets leather today at noon, our Bulldogs will make official their 57th all-time bowl appearance. That number trails only Alabama for the most bowl berths in college football history. We'll come back with just retired athletic director Greg McGarity. He'll join us live here in our booth from Mercedes-Benz Stadium after this on the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm John Addison, a lifetime Bulldog fan, Georgia graduate, and the chairman of distribution for Primerica, the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. Primerica is a Main Street company for Main Street families. We help people from all walks of life achieve their goals and dreams by offering common sense financial solutions to today's challenges. As a Georgia-based company, Primerica is proud to continue to sponsor Georgia football. Go Dogs!
If you want to earn the highest wages and best benefits in the construction industry, go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Randy Bill, business manager of the Atlanta and North Georgia building trades. We have immediate openings for journey-level workers as well as helpers and apprentices. Our tuition-free, earn-while-you-learn apprenticeship programs offer the best training in construction, giving you the skills that will pay your bills. Learn more today at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Momentum in football or a small crack in your basement can snowball into major damage. Hondo here for Engineered Solutions of Georgia. See a crack in your wall? Call ESOG, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Dial 678 ESOG now.
Get ready for kickoff at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldog gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. The UGA Bookstore is the exclusive home of the UGA 10 collection by Peter Millar. The UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus, next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
At Zaxby's, there's nothing better than hand-breaded chicken, unless it's hand-breaded chicken with sauce. From sweet to savory, mild to wild, even that world-famous Zax sauce. Whatever you're craving, we've got the sauce at Zaxby's.
It's time to unleash the dogs.
In the pocket, nowhere to go. We got to sack him. We sack him for a big loss, and the ball goes over on downs.
Welcome back to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How. Well, we received bittersweet news a couple of months ago. A friend and Bulldog leader decided to retire while he's still young and has money in the bank, which is nice. The bad news is we won't have him around anymore. And now with the emeritus Jay Reed, Parker Director of Athletics, Greg McGarity, here's our Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Thank you, Neil, and we welcome Greg to the show for the last time. Not really. He'll come back and visit with us, I guess, as a guest.
Perhaps.
Yeah, and but I want to interview him in Ponte Vedra, where he lives, one of the great places in the world. And, gosh, how envious am I about you retiring in PV. You got a guest room, I hope.
I think we have room, Lauren. Yeah,
right.
anytime.
Well, Greg, it's tough to say goodbye because it's been such a good relationship the last 10 years. You really brought a nice sparkle to the athletic function, and I know everybody felt so good when you were hired. Things were a little discombobulated, but you took over, smoothed things out, and you have a lot to be proud of, a lot to appreciate, and the Georgia people appreciate you. So let's begin. You and I have talked about things you want to talk about. You hired 9 coaches who have done really well. And, of course, the most important one in terms of its importance to the athletic program and then to the success that we all enjoy so much is football. Football does well. Everybody does well. So you hired Kirby Smart. That's first on the list, but go over the coaches you've hired and give us an update on how things have gone with them.
Gosh, Lauren, we went over that the other day. I got to have my memory working here, but no.
All right, I'll help you.
There's a bunch. Okay.
I'll help you. Let's start with Kirby.
Kirby is, Lauren, this is the 4th straight New Year's Day Big Time Bowl we participated in 5 years, and if my memory serves me correctly, there's only been one other time in Georgia football history that we've done that in the 3 Sugar Bowls in 80 through 83, and then the Cotton Bowl. So for Kirby to do that, only the second time in the history of Georgia football is certainly monumental, and I'm really proud of what he's done to get us, up to a game like today in the other bowl games. But, I'm really proud of the people that we have on our staff. They're really good people, Lauren. So one thing I remember talking to the president about is I don't have to worry about these people at night. They're good, solid citizens. They're going to run their program the right way. They're not going to embarrass the university. And I'm more proud of that, perhaps, than maybe winning in a lot of situations. So a lot of good people we have on staff and a lot of coaches that are still on the staff that were here when I got here. And so kudos to those coaches that have continued to do great work over the past decade.
Tom Green.
Tom is got a tall task ahead of him. It's kind of like some of our other sports. We have not really had success at a consistent level in a few of our sports. Many have, but some don't, and they struggle. And you've got to be super patient. We were super patient with Mark Fox for 9 years, I guess, and just couldn't get over the hump. And Tom's in year 3, and I love the way his team plays. We didn't shoot the ball well the other night. He'd be the first person to tell you that, but Tom's what we needed for our program, and I'm very confident that he'll be able to get us on the right track and do great things as a Bulldog.
And Petros Kipriano.
Yeah, Petros, he was Mr. No Patience, and he's already won 2 national championships and a bunch of seconds, and just done a great job. But Tom Black in volleyball is going to be really, really dynamic for us. Courtney does a great job with gymnastics. I just see a lot of good things happening. Joni Taylor in women's basketball played a really good Mississippi State team last night, and so we're going to rebound and do well. But a lot of good people, Lauren, and like I said earlier, they're really good people that I'm really proud of.
And Scott Strickland, we need to take a break and come back. All right, Tony Schiavone was the boss, so we're going to take a break, Greg, and come right back.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We will take this break and come back in 2 minutes. Top 10 battle brewing in Atlanta, Georgia, and Cincinnati on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Northside Hospital reminds you to stay safe and stay healthy during the pandemic. It's easy to do a few simple things every day. Wash your hands frequently and disinfect hard surfaces in your home. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Always wear a mask in public and wash your hands before and after removing your mask. And if you're in a crowded place, stay at least 6 feet apart from others. For more information and CDC safety guidelines, go to northside.com/COVID-19.
In football, it's important to call the right play. In life, it can be even more important to make the right call, especially regarding termite protection. To protect my home, I call the unbeatable combination for termite protection, Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. Discover how affordable it is to protect your home with the Centricon system. Make the right call. Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
The dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
At Zaxby's, chicken and delicious go hand in hand, as in hand-breaded, hand-seasoned, and handmade to order. There's only one place you can get chicken like that. Zaxby's.
Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram presents Bulldogs Gus and Otis. Gus, you're in a good mood. Hey, it's the holidays, and you know what that means. Presents! Athens Dodge presents the 25 Deals of Christmas. Every day expect a miracle deal with big Finish 2020 offers on all your favorite new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram cars, trucks, and SUVs. Gus, I got you a present. It's a picture of you. I made it myself. You really shouldn't have. Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 4145 Atlanta Highway or athensdcjr.com. Core Power's the official protein drink of Georgia football. Fueled by 26 grams of high-quality protein, your workout will never go to waste. Work hard, recover harder with Core Power, the official protein drink of Georgia football.
It's game day, and the dogs are ready to eat.
And it is caught! Touchdown! Money time!
Let's rejoin the NAPA Tailgate Show.
Hi, everybody. We're here in our SCANA broadcast booth. The teams are getting loose down there on the floor of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's Lauren Smith, Neil Williamson, and our special guest, Greg McGarity. Lauren, you take it away.
All right, Greg, we didn't mention Billy Lassane, Josh Brewer has done a good job for you, but particularly Scott Strickland. He has really made great progress with the baseball.
Well, it just shows patience pays off for Scott. I think we all admit the first 2 or 3 years of Georgia baseball under Scott was some pretty tough baseball, but certainly he followed his plan that he talked about when we hired Scott, and certainly he's elevated our program to where I think we're going to be consistent NCAA participants. He had worked so hard to get a team ready last year with so many really good players, and unfortunately the year got scrapped and we can't get those kids back, but certainly has us to where we're going to be competitive nationally on a regular basis.
And you inherited, so to speak, some pretty good coaches, Manny Diaz, Jack Bowerly, Jeff Wallace, Chris Hack. Have I missed anybody?
Jeff Wallace, you mentioned him, Magon Burning.
Yeah,
Magon and Equestrian. So, yeah, I didn't have to do much on those sports.
Well, now looking back, what are you proudest of?
Well, I'm proud of a lot of things, Lauren. I'm really proud of our student athletes and what they've done on and off the field. You know, graduation rates are soaring. Our donors have been absolutely phenomenal. Our donors have absolutely been phenomenal in that they've been able to really fully fund these 3 major football projects we've had, and we're at close to $68 million now of the $80 we need to raise for the Butts-Mehre expansion. And I'm also proud of our staff and our coaches who have really done great work, and they represent us so well, and I'm just so proud to have been associated with them for so many years. And then a university administration led by Jerry Moorhead, which is second to none. And so everything was aligned the right way. Everybody was working for the common good, and everybody was on the same page. So that certainly makes life easier for all of us that are in these leadership positions.
And, of course, you'll always be appreciative, I know I can say this, of your mentor, Dan McGill. I remember you when you first came to the court. Your feet were the biggest thing about you. What do you recall about Dan?
Well, Lauren, you and I are probably two of the luckiest guys in the world to have Dan McGill in our life. Certainly a tremendous impact on me as a young boy, and you too as well during your college career. So you and I are two of the luckiest guys in the world, being able to work with Coach McGill and have him a part of our lives. But needless to say, I would not have done any of this without Coach McGill's help and his guidance and the mentorship and just, the all-time best.
Now, you're at Ponte Vedra. You not only can play golf and tennis, I don't know what your choice would be, but you can also fish. There's just a lot going on there. What do we see you doing 6 months from now? Will you be lying on the beach? Will you be playing golf or tennis? Or will you be wetting a hook?
Absolutely not, okay? Cheryl's already told me I'm not hanging around the house much. I've already driven her crazy in like 3 or 4 days. So I'm going to be doing something. I don't really know what that's going to be, but I think there'll be some opportunities that might present themselves over the coming weeks, coming months. And good thing is, I really don't have to work. I'm in a good position, and whatever I do is going to be something that I really, really want to do, and maybe it'll be a little less stressful than it was sitting in the chair as the AD at Georgia. But I'll be doing something, Lauren, whether it's for pay or without pay. I want to stay busy.
And maybe you can write a book, and if you do, we'll all buy 2 copies.
Well, I'd have to find a good author to help me with that, Lauren. So, okay.
No, you're a journalism graduate. You don't need to give any help.
I don't know. You've got experience in that area, and I do not. Okay.
And as we go on a sad note, we've lost some great folks in the last few days. Doc Ayers, I don't think we recognized Doc earlier on the broadcast. Phil Jones just passed away.
Oh,
Coach
no.
Jones. Yes, so sorry about that. And, of course, we lost Bobby Green, played on our 1959 SEC championship team, just died earlier this week. We lost Terry Kay, former sports writer. We might have mentioned him on our last broadcast. I can't remember. And then we lose Phil Necro, who was a great Georgia fan, and his kids went to Georgia, so we wish Phil's widow, Nancy, beautiful lady and a beautiful person. We're just so sorry to lose such a gentleman. I don't think he ever said no to any request.
Oh, no. Nuxie, the things that Nuxie did for me early in my career when I was 25 years old and, just starting out in Atlanta, and the people I was competing against were Dan Patrick, Brad Nessler, Larry Munson, and Skip Carey. And Steve Holman were the people I was competing against, and the things that Nuxie did for me early. And I reached out to John Necro. He and I have had conversations this week, and definitely condolences. But back to you, Greg. We're just so grateful for you, and you look more relaxed. My friend, we've known each other a lot of decades, and you look more relaxed now than I've seen you since you were about 26 years old. You look really, really stress-free.
Well, maybe in time. I've been able to put on a pretty good facade here for a lot of years, and just know inside churning is a different engine running there. So
it shows in your face, believe me.
It's kind of like a good friend, Norm Carlson, who we all know at U of F, that he said it's not always as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. It's somewhere right in the middle. So if you kind of take that attitude, things kind of playing out. But I can assure you inside the guts are churning, and I'm as nervous as I would be for any other game right now, even though I may not appear that way.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Congratulations on a phenomenal career. Thank you personally. Thank you from the Bulldog Nation. And thanks for taking the time to come in and see us. And you and Cheryl and Alex have a great time down there in Florida.
Well, you guys have always been great. You do a great job up in the booth, and you have a hard task every week to be calling the game and keeping the Bulldog Nation inspired. And I enjoy listening, and I'm sure I'll enjoy listening down the road here. But kudos to y'all for all the work you do for the University of Georgia. You guys are great.
All right. Thank you. Greg McGarity joining us, and we will speak again. Godspeed, my friend. A damn good dog. Number 9, Georgia. Number 8, Cincinnati. Kick just after noon today on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Everybody remembers the amazing light show last year when we ran the Fighting Irish out of Sanford Stadium that made Georgia the envy of college football. I'm Kenny Mullins, business manager for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Every light in Sanford Stadium was installed by an IBEW electrician. We also light up the practice facility and many other buildings on campus. Learn more about the IBEW at IBEW613.org. Go Dogs!
Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram presents Bulldogs Gus and Otis. Gus, you're in a good mood. Hey, it's the holidays, and you know what that means. Presents! Athens Dodge presents the 25 Deals of Christmas. Every day expect a miracle deal with big Finish 2020 offers on all your favorite new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram cars, trucks, and SUVs. Gus, I got you a present. It's a picture of you. I made it myself. You really shouldn't have. Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 4145 Atlanta Highway or athensdcjr.com.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Oh, hello there, stuffed crust lovers. I bring amazing news. Papa John's has heard our demands, and thanks to us, they're finally launching the new melty, mouth-watering epic stuffed crust pizza. Oh, it's a lot to process, with all that deliciously melty cheese packed into our signature crust. To help you prepare, I'll leave you with a final adjective that may come in handy when describing this pizza. Epic! The new epic stuffed crust pizza from Papa John's with one topping for $12. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes. Extra prices may vary.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
We're counting you down to kickoff for the inside track on today's game.
28, 20, 10, 5, give him 6, touchdown!
Here's more from the crew on the NAPA Tailgate Show.
Dejon Edwards in the backfield, going to get the carry, puts the ball in his left arm, runs through tackles, 30, 35, 40, still running away, 50, 45, 40, 35. They reach him and pull him down at the 30-yard line.
Happy New Year from our NAPA Tailgate Show team, where we pray 2021 is successful and virus-free for you and yours. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Bulldog Sports Network. Time now for today's game plan, brought to you by Country Financial. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started at countryfinancial.com. The first area Georgia must game plan for today is 8th-ranked Cincinnati's multi-purpose quarterback Desmond Ridder.
I think it's deceiving how fast he is because he has really long legs. So when he takes off running, I mean, you see him outrunning people all over the place. And you know, when you start outrunning linebackers and DBs in college football, says a lot about your speed.
There's Coach Kirby Smart. Eric Zier with us. Eric, expound on the problems that Ridder will create for the Dogs today.
Well, listen, we've faced multiple dual-threat quarterbacks throughout this year. Obviously, in the game of football today, you see dual-threat guys almost week in and week out. I think what separates Desmond Ridder is just his ability to throw the football, his pocket presence. When he does get on the move, he does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield. So he's not a run-first guy. It's probably the strength of his game, no question, but he is a polished enough passer that he's going to present problems in really every area what he's trying to do. This Bearcat offense runs through him, and for the Dogs to be successful today, we have to make him one-dimensional. We have to keep him contained in the pocket and then have to have a good, solid push to disrupt vision for him down the field, because if you let him loose on both fronts, he's hard to handle.
All right, on the flip side of the ball, the Bears are sound and opportunistic on defense. UC has forced a turnover in 19 straight games. That's the longest active streak in NCAA FBS.
When you create turnovers like they do, I mean, that's probably one of the most amazing stats that I've ever seen in terms of generating that many turnovers or that many games in a row. I mean, I've been coaching defensive football for a long time, around some really good defenses, and I don't know that has ever happened.
That's Coach Kirby Smart, and this Bearcat defense, they create these opportunities for turnovers because they're unconventional, really, in the way they scheme, in the different looks they present. They run a 3-4, but their zone drops. They get very creative. A lot of zone blitz looks that just quarterbacks aren't used to seeing, and they can get in multiple different formations to create confusion and pass protection. For the Dogs, I think on the offensive side of the football to be successful, we're going to have to be able to run the football and control the line of scrimmage, because if we get into a game or a situation where we've got to throw it, they are creative and unconventional enough on the defensive side of the ball to cause some problems.
Well, controlling the line of scrimmage is going to be difficult. We don't have Ben Cleveland or Trey Hill today.
Yeah, no question about that. Losing those two guys is going to be a challenge. If there's a spot on this team that you can withstand some of those departures, it is on the offensive side of on the offensive line. We've done such a great job of recruiting and bringing in talent that I think that we're going to be okay. We saw Warren Erickson, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I guess, when we played Missouri the last time that we were on the field, did a fine job for us there. So we've got enough talent. How these guys gel together, though, because it's going to be a different line up front than what we're used to seeing, but the talent is there.
All right, Z, great job. Thank you. We start trading licks in 1 hour and 43 seconds. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram presents Bulldogs Gus and Otis. Gus, you're in a good mood. Hey, it's the holidays, and you know what that means. Presents! Athens Dodge presents the 25 Deals of Christmas. Every day expect a miracle deal with big Finish 2020 offers on all your favorite new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram cars, trucks, and SUVs. Gus, I got you a present. It's a picture of you. I made it myself. You really shouldn't have. Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 4145 Atlanta Highway or athensdcjr.com.
Hey, it's your home, and I need to ask you a few favors. In the kitchen, there's a spider stuck between the window and the screen, and I know it's dead, and technically it's outside, but it's still freaking me out. Can you flick it out or something? Also, just to save some money, and it's super easy, could you bundle your home and car insurance with Geico? Last thing, could you take the holiday decorations down? Yeah, I'm one of those.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Now more than ever, it's important to support our local businesses, whether it's your favorite pizza place or your neighborhood barber. That's why I'm a proud member of Georgia's Own Credit Union. Georgia's Own has been serving our local community for more than 85 years. Whether they are saving you money on a checking account or credit card, or supporting the people, places, and teams that we've grown to love, Georgia's Own can't be beat. To learn more, visit their website at georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
What if I could buy online at Discount Tire and get the same advice I get from the experts in the store?
You can. Our Treadwell Tire Guide finds the perfect tire for you based on your driving habits.
I want to save time and book an appointment online.
Book your appointment, get expedited check-in, and be placed at the front of the line for the next available day.
And have the choice of never leaving my car when I get to the store.
The touchless experience. So simple.
It's genius.
Find out more at discounttire.com.
You're listening to Georgia football.
Over the shoulder catch at the 10, 5, touchdown right down the seam.
Now back to the NAPA Tailgate Show.
Daniels, snap, throw, Pickens, slant, caught, 20, 15, 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, George Pickens. He's having a day.
Georgia and Cincinnati, and under head coach Kirby Smart, our 9th-ranked Dogs take part in their 4th consecutive New Year's Six Bowl. And Cincinnati's Luke Fickell is in his 4th season at UC. He's led the Bearcats to back-to-back 11-win seasons and the AAC championship in an undefeated season so far in 2020. First, let's hear from Coach Smart.
When you get to a New Year's Six Bowl, that's an accomplishment. I mean, let's be honest. Not everyone gets to go to a New Year's Six Bowl. So I'm not going to diminish that or say it's a disappointment, because I think when you do that, you set yourself up for failure. If every year is a disappointment that you don't get to the playoffs or you don't get to the national championship game or you don't win the national championship, what kind of lessons are you teaching, your players and your kids in life?
Lauren, champagne problems. No, our program has become so good that our fans get disappointed if we're not in the top 4. I just love Kirby Smart for the way he handles topics like that. He doesn't avoid them. He comes right at them head on. Well, and he's appropriately named. His name is Smart. He functions in a very smart way. And I don't think it's anything but natural that you're disappointed, because you feel like if you're a Georgia fan, we should be in the top 4 based on our ability to recruit, our ability to compete, our tradition, our facilities. All of those things makes fans feel like we should be there. But in the case of Georgia fans, I've always watched them. I've been going on since the mid-'50s. They're pretty consistent in their loyalty. They get upset when things don't go well, and we've had some down times, and we've had some very bitter and stupid times. But by and large, our fans today are showing us that they will support us. They've done that in contributing to all of the facilities that Kirby wants. And this year, COVID, we allowed everybody to get a refund on their contribution and their tickets if they wanted it. So many people opted to let the money stay in the coffers. Very nice. That's a very good sign of how loyal the Georgia fans are. I mean, it's sort of like Ray Kinsella in Field of Dreams. You build it, they'll come. You win, they'll come at Georgia. And they'll come as well as any college in the country for my money. So I just feel like that Kirby is a terrific leader. We failed to underscore his ability to lead. He's excellent. All right, very good, Lauren. Thank you. For Coach Fickell and 8th-ranked Cincinnati, you betcha this is a statement game versus the SEC in our own backyard.
We've got an opportunity for all of us and both of us to make a statement. And because this really takes you into that next phase of your program and how you continue to grow your program, and positive energy and momentum is what grows a program.
That is Cincinnati head coach Luke Fickell, and make no mistake about it, any team across the country, when they have an opportunity to come in and play one of the elite programs within the SEC, because of the dominance that the SEC has had in college football over the past 10 or 15, 20 years, there is an awful lot of motivation for any team coming in. And then you put a University of Georgia that's been mentioned with the elite programs in the country for the past 3 or 4 years. This is a program-defining game for Cincinnati. It can put them on the map. They have a case, or at least they're stating they have a case to be in the top 4 and should have been in the college football playoff. They've got all of that they want to go prove today. It's the Dogs' turn right now to go shut that talk down and just show them what playing in the SEC is like and what elite programs look like. It's going to be a great matchup.
All right, thank you, Eric. Scott Howard, who are the top 5 young players who may get a shot today or should get a shot today that we should keep our eye on?
Well, probably on that offensive line, guys like Clay Webb. We've seen Warren Erickson already, and he'll be at center most likely today, as he was in the Missouri game for Trey Hill, who's injured. And we haven't been told who's going to be in that right guard spot, but guys like Clay Webb, and then Xavier Truss is probably going to move in at tackle, and that allows some more movement on the offensive line with some experienced guys. And on defense, Kirby talked this week about the secondary being really the most problematic position group as far as depth is concerned. You may see Duran Branch in there today. We may see Jalen Kimber today, 2 freshmen that we haven't seen a whole lot. Branch had been injured early on in the season, but I know that's probably not 5, but guys like that. And then Quay Walker is probably going to fill in for Monty Rice, and should do so nicely since he's played a lot already this season.
All right, excellent. There's the voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard, along with our analyst, Eric Zier, and our polymath, Lauren Smith. You're not going to get that kind of insight anywhere else in the country on Georgia football. Great job, men. We'll come back with Coach Kirby Smart and his Inside Skinny on today's Peach Bowl in 2 minutes. It's number 9 Georgia versus 8th-ranked Cincinnati. We kick in 52.5 minutes on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Georgia's rural communities need a strong voice in the Senate. The Senate Agriculture Committee leadership is critical for farmers and rural businesses and communities. Re-electing Senators Perdue and Loeffler is vital for Georgia agriculture. To ensure Senator Bozeman of Arkansas, our strong advocate, chairs this committee. Every vote counts. Vote Senators Loeffler and Perdue. Paid for by the National Cotton Council of America and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. National Cotton Council of America is responsible for the content of this ad.
Hey, have you heard about Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery? You mean the game where you pick a number from 1 to 15 and if it matches, you win money? It sounds easy.
It's as easy as dunking a basketball with a stepladder.
Or bowling with the guardrails up.
Hitting homers from a tee stand.
Sacking a quarterback during a timeout.
I got it. Yelling at players through your TV from your couch.
Exactly. Playing Cash Pop is easy.
So grab your phone and play at playcashpop.com.
Cash Pop.
Pick a number and get winning.
Please play responsibly.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Now more than ever, it's important to support our local businesses, whether it's your favorite pizza place or your neighborhood barber. That's why I'm a proud member of Georgia's Own Credit Union. Georgia's Own has been serving our local community for more than 85 years. Whether they are saving you money on a checking account or credit card, or supporting the people, places, and teams that we've grown to love, Georgia's Own can't be beat. To learn more, visit their website at georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
You've got a great piece of land, ideal for hunting, but when it comes to managing that land, don't count on an ATV to do the job of a tractor. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact tractors can be and redefined what they do, making our tractors perfect for the cutting, hauling, digging, and plowing you need to do to create food plots and manage trails. Learn more at masseyferguson.us. See the newly designed Massey Ferguson GC 1700 and 1700 M Series today.
The Dogs play here.
Wow! Power straight ahead. Touchdown!
You're listening to the NAPA Tailgate Show.
Back here on the Bulldogs Tailgate Show, it's time for the Inside Skinny with Coach Kirby Smart, presented by Caterpillar. Our solutions help our customers build a better world. So here we are, Coach, just a little bit before kickoff here in Atlanta, in the Peach Bowl, Georgia, and Cincinnati. Tell us about your week. You know, you were concerned about that coming back off the Christmas break. How did you handle all the virus things and filling in new slots with different players? Some of your starters aren't here for this one.
Yeah, so it's been a different prep. Obviously, every year you go through the bowl time and you get prepared, and you have guys that are seniors that are possibly out, or guys that opt out. I think that's a thing that you're going to see from time to time, but for our guys, it was really about staying healthy and making sure we had every available player in terms of injury, in terms of COVID. We're constantly fighting the opponent and COVID. So it's been very different. We've tested our guys, and we hope to have everybody available. And sometimes that doesn't, we don't get to find that out until right before the game. And something we've been dealing with this week.
Tragic situation with James Cook earlier this week. What is his situation?
Yeah, James' father passed. He's been sick for a little bit, and hate that for James. I know a lot of our players love James. He's part of our family, and when he hurts, we hurt. And it's one of the tough situations. And right when he found out, we were able to get him on a flight and get him home, and want him to spend this time with his family.
How has your preparation been for this bowl game and the Cincinnati team? Do you like the way the guys prepared?
The guys have prepared well. They've competed. We've gone good on good. We've tried to keep practices. They've had a long season, so we've tried to go an hour to an hour and a half and sell them on getting after it, playing fast, playing physical, but staying healthy. And we know it's going to be an intense matchup because we know what they're playing for, and we know what we're playing for. So it's going to be exciting to watch.
What does your offensive line look like today with Trey Hill injured and Ben Cleveland not here? You've had Warren Erickson got time at center against Missouri. What does your line look like today?
Yeah, Warren stepped up and played against Missouri and thought he snapped the ball in some really tough weather conditions well. That was a key part. He's communicated well. He makes the calls. He's done a good job. Jamari's been working in there. Truss, Cedric Van Pran. Schaefer and Warren McClendon, Clay Webb, all those guys have gotten a lot of work. So we're excited to see those guys go out and play today.
It's probably an exciting time for those guys that maybe haven't taken as many snaps during the season. Today's a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, it's a great chance to go out and play in a good environment and against a good football team. So it's where you start to gain confidence when you play the game.
What does your defense look like today? How do you feel about them?
Well, we got some young guys that are going to have to play. Some guys playing different positions in the secondary. It's really been tough in the secondary. That's probably been the hardest spot to deal with in the last 2 weeks because of injuries, because of issues with guys coming out, deciding not to play, and that's the spot that I would say we probably were our deepest going into the season, but now we're probably at our thinnest. So it's been tough, and you'll see some new faces out there today, and I'm excited to go watch them play.
Well, I guess it's good that you had the depth so that you can kind of cover it now. Yes, you're thin now, but certainly that's going to be rebuilt here in the coming months.
Yeah, we've been playing new guys kind of ever since the Kentucky game where we had to go into Florida, and then we lost Lewis, lost Richard. So we've had to play a lot of different guys in the secondary, and there'll be different ones out there today.
What do we want to see out of the Bulldogs today to have success?
Effort. I want to see great effort, great toughness. You can't turn the ball over and win a football game ever, and we know that's what they do well. So we've protected the ball pretty well this year. We got to get after it on defense and try to get the ball off them.
Good luck today, and we'll talk to you. We'll catch up with you after the game.
Thanks. Go Dogs.
That's Coach Kirby Smart, our inside skinny. The Dogs in Cincinnati are coming up. Hondo, back to you for more of the Bulldogs Tailgate Show.
All right, thank you, Scott. Thank you, Coach. Our opponent today, it may surprise you, has been in the football business for a long time. It surprised me. Cincinnati's program dates to 1885. It's one of the 10 oldest in the NCAA FBS. Great notoriety has escaped the team because they haven't been all that great during their 133 years of playing. The Bearcats have made only 19 bowl appearances prior to today's. For comparison's sake, Georgia has made 3 times as many. And famous Cincinnati football players, most famous one I could find, Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs, and then 3 old-timers, Jim O'Brien, who kicked that field goal to win Super Bowl V for Baltimore over Dallas, Brig Owens, a dozen years with the Redskins in the secondary, and one more. Oh, Joe Morrison, who played for the Giants for 12 years and then was the head coach at South Carolina with those good Black Watch teams back in the 80s. Top 10 head knocking to bring in the new year. It's 9th-ranked Georgia versus number 8 Cincinnati. More to come on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Core Power's the official protein drink of Georgia football. Fueled by 26 grams of high-quality protein, your workout will never go to waste. Work hard, recover harder with Core Power, the official protein drink of Georgia football.
The Walton Gas Champions for Charity game is on. That means every time the Dogs win a regular season game, Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to these local charities: Camp Twin Lakes, the Salvation Army, the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And for every bowl game the Dogs win, Walton Gas will donate $5,000. Everyone wins with Walton Gas. Always low rates, always great service. Put your game face on and be a champion for charity. Vote for the charity of your choice at waltongas.com/UGA.
At Zaxby's, there's nothing better than hand-breaded chicken, unless it's hand-breaded chicken with sauce. From sweet to savory, mild to wild, even that world-famous Zax sauce. Whatever you're craving, we've got the sauce at Zaxby's.
You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey Bulldog fans, Coach Smart here. My friends at Georgia United Credit Union now offer Georgia Bulldogs Visa debit cards. Now you can show your team pride everywhere you go and spend. Pick your favorite design and score yours today. Georgia United makes banking easy, friendly, and smart for busy members like myself. Attack the day with a free checking account that pays big interest. It's the smart choice. Visit at gucu.org/Go Dogs for important account information. Insured by NCUA. Georgia United, the official credit union of Georgia Athletics.
At
At Subway restaurants, deals are delicious. And right now, you can choose from 2 great deals on delicious meals. Get a 6-inch cold cut combo, spicy Italian or Black Forest ham, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $6. Or choose a 6-inch chicken and bacon ranch melt, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or steak and cheese, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $7. Either way, you get a great deal on a delicious meal. Only at Subway restaurants. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Additional charge for extras, plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
Counting you down to kickoff.
He goes down underneath. Big George Davis crushed.
You're listening to the NAPA Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
3 tight end set here. Give it to Zeus. Starts straight, bounces out left. He's gone. He's gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Never touched.
Oh, your timing coming back from commercial break couldn't be better, folks. The Dogs just ran out of the tunnel. They are assembling in the far end zone and beginning to sprint out to midfield to get limbered up. Fantastic. George in Cincinnati. Before we wrap things up with our NAPA Tailgate Show, a few notes. Did you know the Bulldogs are the only team in the nation to rank in the AP top 7 each of the past 3 years at the end of the year? Beat the Bearcats today. We'll run that string to 4. Topping Cincinnati, though, will not come without difficulty. A win in today's Peach Bowl would give UC its first undefeated campaign in the modern era. And the Bearcats have overwhelmed their opponents this year, winning by an average of 39-16. And the school, with an enrollment of nearly 47,000 students, knows that a triumph over Imperial Georgia, an SEC behemoth, would be one of the greatest in their program's history. And we will tee things up in 41 minutes. Our engineer here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium is Tony Schiavone, assisted by Chris Schiavone. Zach Jewell is our studio producer. For Scott Howard, Lauren Smith, and Eric Zier, this is Neil Hondo Williamson. The Ford Drive to kick off with Scott, Eric, and Chuck Dowdle is next, as that trio takes you right up to the Peach Bowl action between number 9 Georgia and 8th-ranked Cincinnati. I'll talk to you again at halftime. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.